Everyone, to some more of our action. This is the VR League brought to you by Intel, and I'm Jason Kaplan, joined by the lovely, the handsome, the man sporting the brand. It's Blue. How you doing today, man?
Doing great. I'm ready to jump into Onward for my first time, my first crack at casting it, and I'm very excited for it.
And of course, if you guys missed out on last week, pretty much, we were back, or we were not back, we were in Leicester, or as I say, Leicester, England, casting some Echo Arena, actually. It was an invitational. We had some phenomenal games over the course of the 2 days. Got to work with Kalaris, with Poonanners as well, and of course, the ESL UK production team. It was great. I just want to ask, your experience of the whole event.
Yeah, no, I think it was really good. We had some really competitive matches, I think, as well, especially when it came down to like our last 3 or 4 matches there. It was very much like a fight to the bitter end, even coming down to our grand champion as well. We ended up having the repeat champion back from the Season 1 finals take it, but we almost, they were almost challenged by the #1 seed coming in from Europe. So the Echo Arena scene's getting pretty exciting as well, and it's going to be fun to go back to that when we head back there in a few weeks as well.
Going the full distance, I think, was actually like really intense as well. Seeing them like kind of, well, actually the leading team was Eclipse back then. Just a quick recap, was winning. Well, actually went through the winner bracket side of it and lost the first series when they had a series reset because of the lower bracket team, and they almost lost it all. But they came back strong, and it was fantastic to watch. But that is the VR League. We have Echo Arena, we have Sprint Vector, and a couple of other games in there. But today we have a little bit of a different treat for you guys. It's going to be Onward, and it's not really even part of the VR League. It's part of the VR Master League, which we'll be getting into a little bit of time. But before we hop into that, let's actually just show you really quickly what Onward's about. Well, hopefully that gave you guys a quick idea of what Onward is about. But to kind of describe it further, Blue, for me, it's kind of like a cross between like Rainbow Six, like the strategy of Rainbow Six, with a little bit of Arma in terms of the map style of how you play, mixed in with some Battlefield and Call of Duty, and even some Counter-Strike with the actual game mode that we're participating in.
Yeah, very much in terms of the game style, it's very much like your classic sort of first-person shooter, but obviously with the VR twist added to it. And it was like one of the first, I think, multiplayer VR shooters to come onto the market as well. So it's kind of a pioneer in that aspect. And it's very slow play, very tactical style of play that comes into it compared to some of the other games that are on the scene right now, like Pavlov, which tend to be a little bit quicker. So it's a lot more strategical when compared to some of those other games that are currently on the market.
And honestly, I think it's one of the most exhausting games out there to play. When I was watching back the invitational that they had in Leicester, England back in June, the amount of like crouching and like squatting and movement that you're doing is ridiculous. And like every player there had like the thickest quads I've ever seen in my life, because you really have to like crouch down and really get the best angles, especially if you're playing with kind of like a shield, which you can use, have a player hold the shield up in front of you, you kind of crouch behind him and use him as cover. It's really intense.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's going to be fun to see some of these teams play competitively as well. And it's going to be, like I said, I'm really excited to jump into it for my first time casting it, as I've been playing the game quite a bit since I got into VR a little over a year ago now.
Yeah, and as well, we're playing this with the VR Master League. This is not the VR League, so it's a separate kind of league, a part of this. But there's also the opportunity to kind of sign up for it. And I know, Blue, you wanted to kind of go into that really quickly if you had interest in participating, but not only this, but some other games they do have.
Yeah, and of course, you can see the link directly below me now, where you guys can go ahead over and sign up for the VR Master League, which not only hosts tournaments for Onward, but for other games as well. We can actually take a look at the website and show you guys how you can get involved and sign up. Specifically, this is their homepage right now. As you can see, they just recently introduced Beat Saber, but we're here for Onward. So we're going to click on the Onward part of the website.
Onward now. But hey,
correct,
next week
yeah.
we might be here for Beat Saber, and hell, we actually might be competing in that one.
That's
Blue.
a
I'm
game
ready
that
to take you.
we might be able to jump into that one. We're going to have to see.
We should do that.
But yeah, you're just going to jump over here to the Onward part of the website. This is really nice because it has a lot of the kind of upcoming matchups on it, the recent news from this week's games and whatnot, and other platforms where you can keep up with the Onward Master League as well. But if you want to get involved, you're going to want to head over to this part of the website right here under registrations, where you can create a team. Obviously, you'll need to make an account over on this part of the website first, but after you've done that, you're going to be able to jump in, find yourself some teammates, and jump into the league, and then eventually get yourself onto the standings board here, where it's generated through an MMR system. Teams will gain and lose points based on their performances in a series of 3 maps that is played out. I think they play 1 team every week, and then they're able to vie for control of the leaderboard, as you can see here on the screen now.
Yeah, and also very important to notice this, these matches today will be best of 3. However, it's not a true best of 3 because they'll be playing out every map in the series, and that's important because your MMR that you get from a win or a loss is based on how close the match actually was. Is it going to be you stomping a team? And depending on where they are in the ranking system, if you're playing a team that's like right next to you or right above you, you can win a lot more MMR by stomping them than you would have just beating them normally. So it's really important for a lot of the teams to keep that composure, keep that focus throughout the entire series.
Very much so, and it's like we said before, it's a very high intensity game where players need to keep concentration at all points of it. So if you like look away or try to talk to your teammate at the same time, that's another cool aspect about some of these first-person shooter games is that it's not like you speak and it immediately goes to your teammates. If you want to talk, you actually have to take like a hand off your weapon, put it up to like you're making a phone call, and actually speak with your teammates. And doing that at the wrong time could potentially cost you a life, as you could have an enemy come around the corner and shoot you just when you're doing that, because they're going to be able to hear you talking as well.
And I remember watching the Invitational, and some teams actually adapt to that, knowing that there's someone potentially around them, so they actually just click their radio to let them know, hey, there's someone near one of the players on our team, so really pay attention to that to not give away your position. But also, if you guys are interested in actually participating in maybe not necessarily the Master League, but to get into Onward, to maybe get some help, for some experts, maybe look for some scrims or some people to play with, there's also a Discord you guys can join. You can check that out there on your screen, join up with that one, and talk to the people who consistently play Onward and potentially get yourself into some of these lobbies.
Yeah, very much so. So definitely jump in. Like we said, VR is a very open, very welcoming community across all the games that I've had a chance to jump into so far. Some of the high-tier players have had no problem showing a newcomer like me the ropes, and I imagine that Onward is no different. So be sure to jump in. If you guys have questions, don't be afraid to ask.
And then after a couple of weeks, you're going to show them how to play, right? No, you blew.
Don't know about that. But
I've seen you shoot guns. You do a fairly good job. You get hit a lot, but you do a good job.
Okay.
Got good accuracy.
All right.
But that does conclude pretty much like the initial portion of what we're talking about with Hold, signing up for the Master League and what we're here for today. But let's take a look at the schedule, because we do have 2 matches for you. It's 2 best of 3s. The initial match is going to be Lemon Squad up against Bossfight. That will be a European match. And then the second match will be Danglers up against Globo Chem, which will be an American Eastern match, since they are separated into regions. Obviously, ping is a major factor when playing any FPS game and any game professionally.
Absolutely. So that first game that we are going to be having will be Lemon Squad versus Bossfight. If you did see the rankings that we had on screen before, you might have noticed that these 2 teams are actually tied right now on the leaderboard for second place. Technically, Bossfight does have the second place position at the moment, but their MMR is exactly the same, meaning that the winner of this match is actually pretty important, because in the event that Lemon Squad takes this, they're actually going to overtake Bossfight and take their position on the leaderboard. And depending on how many points they get, they just might be able to overtake beginners as well. But if my memory on MMR systems is correct, probably won't be getting enough for that tonight.
Or unless they stomp them, there's always potential for that. But yeah, I'd agree. They're going to have obviously a lot more challenges ahead of them. And something that's great about the VR Master League is not only do you have that one match that's scheduled for, not scheduled for you, is drawn for you every week, you can also challenge other teams as well to kind of boost yourself up in the rankings if you have the extra time. But the first match, like you said, it's going to be an exciting one. Hopefully, besides the initial standings for this season, we can look back at their past records where Lemon Squad got 4th place in Season 4 and Bossfight got 2nd place. And I'm not sure how much the teams have changed since those seasons, but for me, that kind of favors Bossfight. Even though they're 2-2 in the season currently, the fact that they were already higher ranked in the last one.
Yeah, we're just going to basically have to wait and see how exactly this plays out as well, because like we said before, the games can change on a dime and turn into very chaotic rounds. The rounds themselves, by the way, last for a pretty lengthy amount of time as well. So teams, like we said before, it all comes down to those seminal few seconds where the teams finally confront each other, and we see players getting angle advantages over one or the other.
Okay, so again, we can kind of go into the game a little bit more while we do wait for one of the players to get ready for the match. It's a very... Okay. It can be slow paced. Obviously, it can be very fast paced as well with the 6-minute rounds. It depends on how things work. It depends on 2 objectives. Either A, you wipe the other entire enemy team, you do kill off all the players, or you do get to the objective, either defending it if you're obviously the team trying to hold on to it and preventing the other team from actually sending the codes out to the person they need to, or if you're the attacking team and the team who actually gets there, you can either kill them or obviously get through the code and get the objective completed. So there's a couple of different options, and we do see teams adjust in how they play, depending on the position of the relay and, of course, the map.
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll be seeing different strategies executed on the map as the relay position might tend to change from round to round, along with as well just some more fun stuff that I hope the teams are going to be willing to bust out tonight to give us a little bit of a show, as this is an important match for both of these teams. So we know that they're going to be giving it their all to be able to sustain that second place in the leaderboard and hopefully be able to move up and challenge beginners who currently hold the first place record on the season.
What's one of the sickest aspects for me when I was watching through a couple of the matches, you can throw a smoke grenade, right? And then as you run by it for cover, you can pick up the smoke grenade that you threw and throw it again to help yourself like buddy, or to hop through different parts of the map, and also to distract enemies of like, hey, the smoke was there, you throw it in a different position, maybe they think you're moving that direction, but you obviously come from a different angle. I'm actually really curious to see what all the maps are going to be playing on for this one. There's obviously a lot of defensive positions you can hold on to, but one of like the most fun things about the game when it comes to competitive level is like the warm-up period you have before the round starts. We actually see people strategizing. There's a little map that comes up that you can draw on to say, all right, let's go for this kind of strategy. Because communication, it's obviously key, but there's no guarantee you can talk to all your teammates at any given time. As you said before, there could be an enemy near one of them.
Yes, you very much need to have like a set plan going into a round there. And problems will arise very quickly if you lose 1 to 2 players off the bat, from what I've seen watching some of the VODs from the Invitational event that we had back in June, that if a team has like a very well planned out strategy and they're unable to execute that, or 1 or 2 players go down unbeknownst to their other teammates, parts of that plan are going to very quickly fall apart. And if the communication is not there, if you're not able to get the call out on the radio quickly enough that you might be going down quickly or within a recent amount of time, then you're going to be all of a sudden you're going to be trying to execute upon a site or something like that and finding out that, oh, well, 3 of my teammates are dead, so this is not going to go the way we originally planned it. So it's a very cool game in that aspect, that you're not always going to be in communication with your teammates like you would often expect in more traditional esports that are played just on a normal PC.
It's true. If you look at traditional esports, communication is probably one of like the biggest aspects to have to succeed in a game. But in this one, I think it's more about improv, right? It's about realizing, okay, well, we lost this player, we lost that player. I can't necessarily communicate to other ones if I need to be very careful of this the situation, and then realize, well, what's the next step? Like, what was the plan we were doing, and like, what do I think the rest of my teammates are going to do off of that, given the current situation? So, like, the improv ability, if that's even technically a word, I think is such a key factor to games like this.
And it's very cool too, because it not only relies on the team's ability to work together and come up with a strat, but it also highlights individual skill very well. In addition to that, because oftentimes you're not going to realize you may have lost certain teammates, so you also have to be careful because you don't want to be going on the radio and be like, anybody's still out there? Because obviously, if you've got an enemy nearby, that's going to...
Blue, are you alive? Let me talk really loudly so someone can potentially hear you or someone hear me next to you.
So if you're trying to constantly hop on the radio...
I would totally do that to you, by the way. So don't...
That's what I still do in pugs. Like, anybody still with me? No? Okay.
See, I would actually commentate what I was doing while I was playing, and then just give away my position, because I seem to do that a lot.
But yeah, so things like, staying off the radio are going to be very important when you're in like neutral territory, because you don't want to give away your position to the enemy, especially if you were like in a 1v3 or 1vx situation there, because the second you give your position away, everyone is going to jump on top of you, and you're pretty much a dead man at that point, unless you have some amazing aim with headshots.
I want to see, potentially like $100,000 tournament, and then you have teams coming into this tournament learning Morse code, so they just do Morse code on their radio to not give away their spot. Obviously, that'd be like the next level kind of step. But beyond that, thinking about something that comes into play, and basically any FPS, grenades, smokes, and regular grenades. Obviously, when you're playing traditional esport with mouse and keyboard, use your mouse to aim where to throw the grenade, and you're used to like the trajectory and like where you need to aim to throw the grenades.
Pre-aimed amount of force usually in those games.
And in this game, it's a lot different because it's based off of how you're literally throwing with your arm. So you can throw obviously a lot farther than some people. You have to be even more accurate when trying to aim for certain directions. It's a lot more difficult, and I think it adds like an extra level of difficulty for teams and skill.
Because you still have to learn, nade spots and things of that nature, but obviously that gets more complex because your arm is necessarily not going to be as strong or as weak as the other guy. But it does look like, ladies and gentlemen, we are pretty much ready to go with our first map. Once again, for those of you who are just joining us, it's the Lemon Squad versus Bossfight, as both of these teams are currently tied for the number 2 seed in Europe, and the winner of this one will be able to take it. The loser will have to bump down to number 3.
We saw actually quite a bit when it was Echo Arena we were casting last week. Your size does matter. Like your wingspan with your arms, how tall you are, all that really matters. And wingspan, for instance, is very important considering being able to throw grenades over walls, being able to aim your gun around a corner without showing yourself, being able to shoot over like hedges or over certain terrain can make you much more impactful. I think we're just sorting out the spectating settings really quickly, but that's going to be a big part of it. And we even saw with Ekarina in particular, Affenterre, like big dude, he's got these like wide arms. Wait, let me get in the camera so you guys can see. I mean, my arms are wider, clearly. Look at these biceps. But he's got these wide arms that makes him a lot harder to defend or to attack against because he's able to, keep his distance and cover the entire goal kind of thing.
Absolutely. And that comes into effect here in games like Onward as well, because obviously players that are more nimble are going to be able to get, down and up a lot more quickly compared to someone who's not necessarily so physically fit.
Unless you're me, then I'm just like you hear see, that's the thing, right? If my radio's on, you're going to hear my knees cracking as I bend down.
Oh, okay.
And my ankles popping, and then I'm just giving away every position.
We need to get you training that a little bit.
I mean, I'm not like not fit. It's just, a tall guy like me.
You probably do better than me though, because I'm just completely out of shape. So
I don't believe that. You're fit, man. You're looking good.
Oh, look at the stomach.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, that's the kind of thing you get here on the VR League show, brought to you by Intel, live in the ESL Cologne studios. You get a little wiggle going on.
Just to prove my point.
I was thinking, I wanted to like do this, poke you, and then have you do the Pillsbury Doughboy thing.
I can't.
But no,
not live on air.
Yeah. So if we were to look at this match, just based off rankings again, their MMR is exactly the same. I personally have Bossfight to be the favorites just because of last season's ranking, because of what they got. Do you have a different thought into that?
I'm going into this one. I'm going into this one again, pretty much as unknown in terms of who's going to take it. For the sake of divisiveness, though, I'll say that I'll say the Lemon Squad has a chance at this one because they're on the up and up right now. In addition to that, they currently have the better record in the league. So
okay,
I'm going to be favoring them.
Well,
for that
speaking of the league, because you saw quite a few games on there. Is there any out there that you're actually looking at as being like more of a serious thing? Because I can already guess which one off the top of my head.
Which one would that be? I'll let you.
Okay, hold on. I can't remember the name. I know because it's the one you always talk about. It's the shooter you always talk about whenever we talk about VR.
Oh, is it for Pavlov? Or?
Yeah, Pavlov.
Oh, okay.
Because they do Pavlov there.
Yeah, they do.
On the VRMasterLeague.com. Quick little plug there.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, that's gonna be cool. You've been talking a lot about that game. I'm curious to see how it goes. And you know what we're going to do? Unfortunately, we do have to kind of fix some issues with, I think, some of the players. And we have to head to a short break. But when we come back, we'll be kicking this match off, guys. So do apologize for the delays, but hopefully we'll see you soon. All right, guys, sorry about that. Looks like everything has been sorted, and we are finally into game. It looks like Bossfight will be taking the first round, and we're moving into the second round with them up against Lemon Squad. And nice, we get to actually hear some comms going on from them. You can obviously talk about what we talked about earlier on about the radio and giving away positions.
Yeah, we'll be sure to reference that a little bit as we get further into the game right now. But taking out the initial positions here, we are going to be seeing Bossfight. Looks like they already have a pretty good amount of control along the map. But the thing to note for Lemon Squad is although they seemed a little bit more contained towards the top right, they do have someone looking to flank way down to the south side. The problem is that it's going to take him a long time to get there, and we actually could have another fight here. I think it's Belkanost. Just missed one of the players from Bossfight sneaking around the corner, but if he continues, he might still be able to get him. It's just about whether he checks the side angle or not. Remember, he's got to keep himself quiet the entire time here so as not to give away his position.
I don't actually think anyone's looking in towards his direction. The man that has snuck through is going to be Legel, and actually he's going to spot a man right in front of him here looking for the shot. Looks like he'll be able to secure that one and actually get the frag on that. Just keep in mind you can revive in this, but now a teammate, Baikonast, actually still not looking this direction. No, he's coming around. He's looking over this one. He's just trying to get in a little bit of a safer position, trying to use that terrain and that cover to his advantage, at least that little bit of a hill.
Just remember that in this game, the time to kill is incredibly low. It only takes like 2 or 3 good hits to be able to take down an enemy on most weapons, as long as it's well aimed. So considering that, and a nice wait here from Baikonast as well. Manages to spot a player from Bossfight, just peeking over the rooftops. He's not out of the hot seat just yet, though, as he still hasn't seen the second player, Legel, who's now sneaking up on him from the side. He has no idea he's about to shoot on him right now. In fact, it does look like that he's not going to be able to maintain himself, but Legel rounded around the corner right now, gets a shot right to his back, and is going to be able to easily take him down. Lemon Squad will also lose another one of their down players as Legel moves in to quickly finish him off. So Bossfight in great control. They can even res their 5th player right now that did end up going down from the exchange previously, but Lemon Squad are just so well split up now. They've got Solo way over here in the middle of the map, just trying to defend, and on the other side, way down to the south, they have their other player that was looking to flank before, but he's barely moved.
Yeah, he's not transitioned across the map at all, which is really confusing considering the amount of people left on his team.
He could just be in a
He's coming back, though.
He could just be in a sharpshooter position. We haven't looked at him yet to see what kind of a kit he has, but I would imagine if he's been sitting back there the entire time, he might have just been sitting at range to do something with a sniper.
I think Solo just needs to survive. I mean, yeah, a frag would be great here, but staying alive to help your teammate out, especially since he's coming back from the very south side of the map. Just need to buy as much time as possible. He's going to spot out one player. He does knock him down and get the kill. That's actually a great little play from him. And a nade's coming out, looks like, on top of the roof. Not sure if he had the distance to get all the way over there. Just a little bit. Actually, no, the cover was there. That was a good throw, but Scooby-Doo doesn't survive much longer. So he actually just runs up and gets another one.
Olo's bringing this back right now single-handedly. He still has a little bit of time before he's going to be able to regroup with his other teammate who's over there towards the burning building on the left. But he's got good position on a rooftop now. He just has to isolate these last two players. More than likely at this point, considering that we're a little over 2 minutes left, he might actually wait for the regroup, or at the very least try to get his teammate into a position to go flanking back around.
So it's going to be a 2-on-2 when it was previously a 4-on-2 situation with the potential for the revive. Mr. Death X1, call him Mr. Death, Mr. D. Does have a teammate as well off to the side. The Lemon Squad have to be careful here.
This was that player that we were talking about previously that was flanking way down to the south. So looks like I was wrong. He wasn't actually trying to take like a sharpshooter position or anything like that. He was more than likely just looking for a flank. But obviously things fell apart for his team pretty quickly, so he was not able to do that.
I mean, I like the play. It's just that he didn't really make anything happen off of that. I mean, obviously you can hit shots at that kind of distance, but they're very difficult to do. And if anything, you know, he can potentially give a lot of information to his team of where players are, where he does spot them out. Doesn't seem like they really accomplished too much off it because it's just pretty much been solo. Well, the solo show, I should say. There's going to be man right towards his right. Actually, he just shoots a little bit too late, though. And Bossfight will turn it now into a 2-on-1 position. They already have that first round. It's going to be, you know, 1st to 4. They get themselves one step closer to taking this first map.
So Guica all on his own now. Solo creeping up onto that one lone player from Bossfight just a little bit too quickly. So did give away his position via sound cues. And now Guica's got a bit of an issue here because you can see Mr. Death on his other side here. I don't know if he's seen him yet or not. He might have got a spot on. If not, Guica's getting away with a massive flank right now. But in my eyes, Mr. Death should have been able to easily spot him out in the open by this point, but he's just not checking this middle road.
I think he's spotted. He has to be spotted. There's no way you didn't see that.
He's fired out shots now, so definitely he's been seen at this point. And with Mr. Death finally committing to the fight, we are going to see the last man for Lemon Squad going down to the ground. Just a little over 30 seconds left in it, but Bossfight do take control. Now a 2-0, leading quite dominantly here against the Lemon Squad on our opening map.
You know, Solo tried. He did well. He got those two eliminations off the bat. Not even off the bat. It was 2 eliminations when they were down to only 2 men. Just unfortunately for him, wasn't enough in the end of things. But Bossfight, like I said, up 2 rounds now. Going into the 3rd round as during their planning phase. Looking good to potentially take the first map. And I just want to say here, Blue, you know, I did have them as the favorites in this matchup.
Okay, all right.
Just want to toot my own horn here because, you know, it's not every day that I'm right.
I just wanted to make the desk an interesting storyline by disputing you. That was my philosophy.
I thought it was interesting enough when you jiggled your stomach on there.
Yeah, did you like that?
That was great. Yeah, I actually am going to go back, clip that, use that as my subscribe button or my subscribe notification, and then tweet it out as well to everyone out there in the world to see.
All right.
I just reminded me of the Goonies for some reason.
The Goonies, okay.
You seen the movie?
I haven't seen the movie.
I haven't either, but I know. But everyone knows the one part with the kid who jiggles. I can't even remember the name. You know what? I'm just gonna stop talking.
All right, guys. Well, I believe the next round should be getting started here in just a second. As soon as we have all players readied up to start the next round, then we will be good to continue the action here and see if Bossfight can continue to run the gauntlet here straight up to 4 or 5, or if the Lemon Squad will finally get a response. They came close, mainly due to the efforts of Solo, but as you may have noticed, their timing was starting to get a little bit low, especially considering how big these maps are as well. Teammates, or these guys do need to like spend a lot of time clearing out parts of the map before they feel completely secure and actually trying to go for diffuses.
Looks like we did actually lose a player here, as you can see from Bossfight's side. I'm not sure how long it's going to take for them to get back into this, but there's a potential that we will be heading to a break in a little bit of time. But again, just really want to reiterate for people out there who, you know, typically don't watch VR or typically don't watch Onward. It's a very physically demanding game. It really is. Like, it's obviously a very difficult game to play, especially with what you need to do physically to play. But also the whole mechanics of the game are completely different than anything you've ever really experienced.
It's just it just gets a little bit exhausting sometimes. If you go and watch on the we have it on the VR League YouTube channel. We are getting into the 3rd round now, by the way, and we can continue talking about this. If you go and watch like from some of the player perspectives that we had at the Invitational, which once again that's the VODs that are available over on the VR League YouTube channel, you're gonna see that like players will hold like a half kneeling position for like 2-3 minutes at a time under some circumstances, and because of that, these players are going to get pretty exhausted pretty quickly unless they've like trained themselves for that. That's just a very exhausting pose that some players will have to hold under certain points.
Like Scooby-Doo was just cannibalizing his teammate there. taking his grenade, I believe it was. He even threw one out there since he had an extra. Guika, now Scooby-Doo, the man we were watching just before. He obviously wanted to try to go for that res, but it's not going to happen since he was double tapped. But we're going to be down to just 4 piece here now on quarantine in our 3rd round. Obviously, a lot of time to work with. And again, even just like the fact that you're turning around like this nonstop. And if you actually watch the Onward Invitational, which happened back in June, you can obviously find the VODs on the VR League YouTube channel. It's insane how much movement there is, how patient you have to be as a player. Because if you just peek, like you mentioned, the time to kill is so fast that all it takes is that one headshot or just 2 bullets to just really knock you down. So you have to play careful. You have to check pretty much everything around you. And definitely have a strategy. But look at this. Bossfight's actually pushed up the northeast side.
So we have a south spawn on the uplink, which is what Lemon Squad, or excuse me, which is what Bossfight is currently trying to get towards right now to be able to upload the code. However, they didn't want to go directly for it. They didn't want to get into an open firefight on the south side of the map. So they've tried a little bit of a different strategy here, leaving one of their players close to kind of like a direct confrontation point on the south end of the map. But you can see it's the main focus right now is this group of 2 others that have swung way north, and it looks like they're trying to wrap back around.
I think the players to the southeast of Bossfight are actually just, you see Mr. Death here, is just looking for anyone to push up from the Lemon Squad side to be aggressive while the 2 are flanking around the back. We can see, though, there's a player on Lemon Squad's side to the very west that was looking in that direction. And if it's possible, can we actually get an overview, like a free cam of the defending area? Because I'm really curious about like where everyone on Lemon Squad is actually standing, just to kind of give an idea of how they're defending this position. So you can see that one man down towards the left-hand side. Another one in the building as well, the burning building, a very key point of this map.
This building directly behind where the camera just flew past is probably going to be the main objective for Bossfight trying to retake right now, because you can see the uplinks like directly in the open, so it's going to be really hard to defuse unless they can get a position just on the outside of that within the defusal range or within the uplink range.
Well, the 2 players that were pushing up towards that north side is now become 3. There is the potential to get a couple of angles. Bikeanost is in a good position, actually has a lot of cover from that north end side.
This is a great flank because you can look at the directional positions right now for Lemon Squad. Lemon Squad really doesn't have anybody keeping an eye on this at the moment. It seems like
there's a man towards the very west, but I don't know if he can see exactly where they are. That's the problem. He also doesn't have high ground too, it seems.
He might be looking for like a lone man though. I don't know if he's expecting this large of a group to move back in, because look at how close they've gotten now. They're going to start creeping up on the first player for Lemon Squad here in just a moment. Is hiding out behind that crashed plane.
A couple of shots are being routed off here. Grenade being thrown as well. Actually looks like Scorpio might have even thrown it towards his teammate there, and he actually might have just, I think he just naded his own teammate.
I think he did as well. Either that or someone from Lemon Squad was able to pick him off, as I think he was in a bit of an engaged fight. The good news is, though, he may be down, but he's not out yet, and you're going to see exactly why in just a second, because every player spawns with a syringe, and you can quickly inject that into your teammate to get them back into the battle, as long as they don't get headshot.
Morphine.
Yep.
Good old morphine.
The power of battlefield medics, I suppose.
If I was Weather Balloon there, Scorpio, I actually just would have picked up his grenade from him. I'd be like, I got another one. I got your grenade. What you gonna do? But Bikeanost actually might be pressured here. He's got to be very careful. Actually, he's downed, it looked like.
Thorian could cause some real problems for up on top, but apparently not. It's a great rush from Bossfight. Already taking down 2 targets in this push right now. There's one major one they still have to worry about in this engagement, and that is the player in the building across from their current position, but they are still inching closer and closer to the uplink, and they still have plenty of time remaining in this as well. 3 minutes left. They're up by 2 players at this point. They can really take their time and try to fish out these last 1 or 2 players from Lemon Squad if they want to. Scorpio, though, is going to overcommit a little bit. Guika sneaks off the trade kill for the side of the building right by the uplink, and is going to be able to bring the numbers back down a little bit. But again, it's not a full knockout, and Bossfight still plenty of syringes to get their players back into it. So he gets revived relatively quickly, and another member of Lemon Squad will go down directly on top of the uplink. Trades do come in, though, and knock out 2 more players from Bossfight directly after that. So now it's gone down to a 1v2 with 1 man left alive from Lemon Squad looking for the clutch.
So he's playing slow, he's playing quiet, he's being sneaky like the ghost in the show. I don't remember what they actually say anymore because it's been a long time. He actually spots him out. There's the quick shot coming through. And that will be Bossfight taking another round on the board here, put themselves up to 3 and to map point.
Bossfight so far with a flawless run. Even running into a few issues there. Very nicely done on their strat there to just go for the big flank. It works out pretty much perfectly as they sneak directly on the top of Lemon Squad. And as soon as the kills start rolling in, well, we did see a few nice trades from players like Guika. Sadly, not much else beyond that being picked up by Lemon Squad in that round. So it is another very straightforward affair by Bossfight.
You know, it's very frustrating, I bet, for Lemon Squad too, because there was 4 minutes of time that passed before we had the major brunt of the action kick off. And then you're kind of forced in this position to make that quick decision making of like, what do we do? What positions do we hold? What angles we hold as well. You hear shots railing off. You hear a grenade being thrown. Maybe you hear Scorpio being yelled at by a teammate there because he naded his own man. But you really have to kind of be aware of that, and you really have to kind of really be able to have that quick decision making to deal with what's being thrown at you. But Bossfight, I mean, they're playing it smart, right? They had a 2-on-1. I wonder how much it translates from games like Counter-Strike, where if you have like a 2-on-1 fight, you obviously kind of want to push together as the two, like stay together because you just get the refrag, right? But they're coming from different angles, and I don't know if that's because Scooby-Doo like wasn't spotted out yet, and he had a clear shot onto the last player from Lemon Squad or not. But stuff like that, I'm not sure exactly how it works in Onward, but it can be very risky.
So the thing is from my pattern of thought, I would feel like it would be okay to lose a teammate in that 2v1 situation. Simply because like in games like Counter-Strike, and even if we talk about other VR games like Pavlov, you have to worry about the economy aspect of things, and that if you die, you're going to lose the guns you have. Whereas that's not necessarily an issue in Onward. Like players can go down, and there's not really any consequence for that besides obviously being knocked out of the round. So as long as the second player,
which is like the biggest consequence ever,
yeah.
Potentially losing the round.
So as long as that second player can maintain his anonymity and stay like hidden and unrevealed to his position, now he knows exactly where the other guy is. He just has to flank him out at that point, basically. So I'd say, obviously, it depends on the situation, but I would say it'd be okay in certain situations to lose one of your teammates or bait one of your teammates entirely to be able to make sure that you get the kill or at least get a general position for where your last opponent is.
Well, yeah, I mean, it seemed like Scooby-Doo worked out well there. The fact that he wasn't really spotted. Let's see, the next round going to be starting off here in about 10 seconds time as they have worked off exactly what they want to do for this next battle. Keep in mind, if Bossfight do win this round, well, they won the map, and they've won it very heavily handed as well. Keep in mind that MMR system. That's going to play very key as the standings do continue to change over the next few weeks. But Lemon Squad, they have to go big. They're the ones attacking, and look, the uplink spawned yet again. Same position, and Lemon Squad need to do something a little bit different here. They did have equal footing, which typically does favor the attacking team whenever in situations like this, but I don't know, they just seem, when it comes down to the big push, even with high ground controls sitting inside of buildings, they just get caught off.
See Baikonauts try to take up a higher position there just to see if he could spot anyone from Bossfight going for a little bit of a defensive rush, and we do have that once again as well. Another player.
Let's go to that man if we can. On the bottom right-hand side of the map, the very southeast. He's going to play a very integral part of this, knowing that they're actually one round away from taking the map. Even some covering fire being thrown in from Weather Balloon for a little bit of distraction might allow him to push in. Let's see if we can potentially get to that man. That's Guika is going to have the chance to actually spot out against him.
More than anything as well, they might have actually seen a few players cutting to the north, because it does look like they have more eyes on that now over on the side for Bossfight.
I mean, if we look to the left here to see who that player is, I think it was Scorpio. Yeah, Scorpio, he actually is giving them so much information because he now knows they're not pushing to the from the east to the west to the south, and he can also see up a little bit towards the north as well to kind of tell you, guys, they're probably coming from the north-hand side. Like this information, even if he doesn't shoot, even if he doesn't get a frag, he's helping his team out phenomenally.
And all you really have to do is wait another like minute or so here. More than likely, we'll get a frag because these two guys that are on the eastern side of the map right now, towards the spawn point for Lemon Squad, are going to have to move and regroup eventually. Because I highly doubt they're going to push him with this split up of formation. If they do, it should just be easy kills for Scorpio. But he gets pushed into a fight maybe a little bit earlier than he wanted to. Stuck in the open, sadly, nowhere else to go besides that rock. And in an open fight, he is more than certainly going to go down against that member from Lemon Squad. Knocks him out right quick and gives Lemon Squad a nice 5v4 advantage to play off of here.
Well, I think one of the first times we've had Lemon Squad actually have the man advantage in this map. Let's see if they can maintain this though. Again, we've seen Solo before be able to put up some big numbers, but big numbers don't necessarily win you the round. And as we can tell, with them having a single one for him, it hasn't been able to net them much of anything. But they still have two men pushing potentially from that north end side. Unfortunately, Scorpio did fall, which gives Lemon Squad now the potential to push from the south side if they did want to rotate back around, because Blue, sure enough, with 3.5 minutes left to go, they definitely have the time to do it, but they seem to want to commit to pushing from north.
Got Weather Balloon moving out, though. He's got another teammate in his position, so he can afford to do that. Don't know what that sound was. We are going to see, once again, Lemon Squad still trying to crunch on this flank from the north, since they have the southmost spawn uplink position for them to play off of currently. In addition to this, you still have that last member from Lemon Squad basically just camping in a spawn building nearly there in the far right side as well. Bossfight are starting to get a little bit antsy. They try to sneak up on the uplink here and ninja the code in. So you can see them having to go back and check for it constantly, but Lemon Squad have been keeping this round quiet. Besides the fight that got forced against Scorpio to flush him out of his position, we haven't seen them do much just as of yet, but that's going to be changing soon. As we can see, this kind of pinch that they're going to go for around the uplink is almost ready to be deployed.
It's still going to be difficult to do that, and that's why you're seeing, I think, Bossfight keep that person there. Make sure they can't easily do that. And then also everyone else is playing close to this position, at least 2 other members, just so they can rotate in if they lose the man on the uplink. Centaurian now, pushing in with a teammate towards the north-hand side, from the north-hand side, trying to spot out that man inside the burning building. Get a very key point of this map. Doesn't look like they were able to get the shot off onto him, but Lemon Squad have lost out a player. So back to equalizing things at 4 apiece. I think a really key player is going to be here, as you can see, Scooby-Doo. That's not Scooby-Doo. I can't read. I have my contacts in, but I can't read. Who's the man towards the right? If we can get the camera to turn that way. That player. Can't see who his name is. I still can't read it.
Yeah.
Run, my child.
Well, regardless, Lemon Squad are making a move now as they are below 2 minutes, so time is going to start to crunch against them. The problem that you did mention, though, is that that player on the back angle for Bossfight could very easily crush these two if he gets eyes on them. But conversely, if they aren't aware that these 2 players from Lemon Squad have taken up this position, they have a massive flank going against it, but no, immediately one of them's going to get cut off as he tries to run into the street. I think that's coming in from Mr. Death over by the side of the building, is going to be able to clip him off, and now that second player from Bossfight is going to look to converge against this flank and take them down. However, Lemon Squad are picking up too many kills.
Wait, what's Scooby-Doo? I was right. All right. Jeez. Yeah, he's actually flipped right behind one. This should be an easy frag. You should not miss the shot. There you go. Does secure that one, and now Lemon Squad down to 2, but Bossfight lost out on another player. It's all on this man here. He has to run towards that uplink as well. There's a player already on it. Blue, I don't know if he's going to get there in time.
There'd be no way that he could get up there unless they mess up the code or he didn't memorize it at the beginning of the round.
Run to the street, you can get this if you're
He's going to try to take him down quickly enough. It doesn't look like he's secured enough to be able to go in and defuse the, or send the uplink. Just him, the counter strike, excuse me. But Scooby-Doo is going to run around the corner. He hears it closer now. Wrap it around, just takes him down outright. And now, all of a sudden, this has been brought down to a 1v1.
You hate to see that happen. But Guika, oh, he actually will turn that one around. Okay, so he does actually bait out his teammate there a little bit. I was expecting him to give a little bit more cover to tell him what was going on. But that will be Lemon Squad finally putting a round on the board here. Most importantly, at a point in the map where it could have lost them the first one. So really crazy play. Scooby-Doo, I give him credit. He booked it. He had his Nikes on. He was running.
So that does put Bossfight in a little bit less of a secure position now. Still very, very close to victory. However, Lemon Squad only just now getting onto the board. And it was a hard-fought victory at that. Coming directly down to the wire, really had to work to be able to get themselves back over towards the, really had to work to be able to get themselves back in a good position to be able to take that round. And now the ball's in Bossfight's court once again, as they're going to have to try to shut it down on this next round here before Lemon Squad runs the comeback in the next 2 rounds.
Still a long way to run the gauntlet, though. 3 rounds straight to take the map away from them, especially knowing like one mistake can cost you everything. Well, not necessarily everything, but at least the first map. So they really have to be aware of this and hopefully for their sake be able to pull it back, because obviously we want to see a close match here. We don't want to see Bossfight just walk all over them.
As a reminder, once again, guys, we still have the 2 other maps that are going to be coming up in this series, along with our second series of the day, which, if you did just join us, I need a reminder as to what that's going to be. The Danglers going up against Global Chem, the now defending champions coming in from the VR League Invitational that we had a little over a month ago now, back in June in Leicester.
Leicester.
We'll be seeing those teams play as soon as this match concludes, and that'll be our North American Eastern highlight match for the night.
Speaking of Leicester, you had your first curry there.
That's true. It was the first time I'd ever had Indian food, actually.
And how was it?
It was very good.
It was. It was amazing.
I kind of want to try more now.
There's a lot of delivery places here in Cologne.
Alrighty.
Just keep that in mind. I think you and I are going to head back to my place and play some games after the show, so maybe we could order some.
We'll have to see.
And also, for people who are also just joining in, besides the fact that we have another match coming your way, obviously we have to remind you this is played through virtual reality with with obviously a VR headset on, which makes things a lot more difficult. It's not your standard mouse and keyboard. It's a lot more difficult to hit shots, a lot more difficult to play in general because it's very exhausting. It also, you have to manually reload your weapons, so it's not like you just hit R to reload your gun. You also have to use your communication with your radio and obviously know when and when not to do that. Grenades are a lot more difficult to throw because obviously you're using your arm instead of just, clicking a button.
It's gotten so advanced now that people have started buying stocks to be able to put their controllers in as well. And we had one of the stock providers as a sponsor as well at that invitational event. And I think they're a sponsor of the VR Master League as well, and been helping them out a little bit.
What is this? They're just going ham off the bat. 4 players shooting straight south. You can actually hear a little bit of communication between, it looks like Bossfight here. But hey, I mean, you obviously invest a little bit of ammo into that first firefight, but the off chance is, the upside is you could potentially get a kill. And that would open things up for a 5-on-4 push. And considering it's potentially the last round for you to win this map, wouldn't be a bad way to start. So nice little try. Again, the down plane, the burning building. Looks like Scorpio is looking for Baikonast here.
I think this explains why we saw the covering fire in the opener too, to let Scorpio get this advanced position. The problem, though, is that look at where he is. He does not have a lot of room to move. If he tries to go anywhere else, he's basically directly in the open, so he's kind of locked himself into this position.
Please tell me you know what that's from.
What? Covering fire?
Covering fire!
I know it from like 4 different movies.
No, it's not a movie.
Oh, is it an Overwatch thing?
No.
No?
What? How dare you say that word?
I don't.
It's from the show Archer.
Oh, okay.
Cyril.
No.
Wherever he does that, he like shoots his own friendlies every time.
Oh, okay. Now I remember.
Well, like I said, covering fire has allowed them to push 1 player forward, Scorpio. But there's still actually another player off towards the side. Scooby-Doo going to be coming to Baikonast. Is going to be rushed down here. He has to be so careful. Let's actually watch Baikonast's point of view if he can really quickly, because he's going to be killed before. Actually gets a trade. Does get a knock as well at the same time.
Baikonast, we should note, though, is still technically alive, but I highly doubt a teammate is going to be able to get in there and res him, as this is very much boss fight territory at this point in the round.
Look how, slow they're actually pushing into this one, making sure there's no other person inside this building. Obviously, as we can see, having the overview that there isn't. They will finish him off. I think they even that'd be funny if they overdosed him with morphine, and that's how they fracked him. Just walked up to him and be like, hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Spurt.
Just gonna take a nice snap now.
He's looting his teammate too, and looting the enemy, making sure they have everything they need to push this back. And they actually lost another play in the meantime. That was over. Actually, that was in the same building. Someone from long range, I think, picked that off. Didn't see exactly who it was, but Lemon Squad, again, man advantage. Have a lot of time to work with. Bossfight down that man, have to look for these frags. I think it was Guika there.
Closer confrontation overall so far in this round. It's both teams now down 2 players here.
Guika's in such a pivotal point, I feel like, too.
And they
have to be so careful, because they can be flanked from the back, and I think there's a man already doing that.
They might have already seen Guika as well, so he's going to be a little bit more careful here. He can hear the smoke going off, just making sure there's no other nades getting chucked at him at this point, since he more than likely did get spotted.
We get to the man that's flanking around the west-hand side. I'm not sure what player that was. It looks like he's actually the one who can definitely turn this round around for Bossfight.
We've also got someone from Lemon Squad as well, way off to the right, that's gone for the big flank there on the
I don't think he's going to be able to do it successfully, though. There's a person from Bossfight in the building.
He's not. I don't think he's watching for this kind of a flank, though.
Yeah, he's
looks like he's trying to take overview over the...
Oh, he actually got picked off.
Yeah.
Literally, as we're talking about it, he just got picked off from the southeast side.
So there we go. There's the successful flank from Lemon Squad to bring the numbers down. The problem is, though, is that the uplink is going to be quite weak. Guika has to immediately peek back out successfully. Defends against Scorpio, however, for the time being, and brings this down now to a 1v2 boss fight. Looking to close out. Lemon Squad just needing to hold on for a little bit longer here to pull off their defense. They just don't know where this last man standing for boss fight is positioned just yet. He's gone for the longer flank down to the south.
Yeah, let's watch Mr. Death here, as he does have so much time to work with, so no rush. There will be a person on the uplink he's got to be careful of. There's actually a man straight ahead of him. He's going to go for the peek. He's going to go for the shot, and he gets it. And he actually gets both of them. Wait, what? They were in close proximity. They were actually in a line practically. And he gets them both, and he gets the map.
So there we go. Boss fight picking up now. And are going to be able to take things 4-1. So that's going to be a big congratulations to Boss Fight as they shoot ahead now. And will be in the lead very much so for this opening map of the series.
Can't believe actually he pulled that off. Again, I don't know why they're both peak at the same time. Why are they playing necessarily? I mean, I did say, play close together, get the refrag. But again, the time to kill so fast in this game that he was able to just, boop, boop.
It's very much close to real life physics when it comes down to the TTK and things like that.
So are you saying that I can't just stand there and wait and eventually I'll be healed up?
No. You can't do that.
So you're saying I don't have a health bar that says 100 HP that, I have to be aware of at all times?
I don't think you have one of those.
Sears? Okay, I don't know a battle for reference.
I don't know where
to
this
that
is going.
Yeah, I don't have a battle for reference for that. But that does mean Bossfight do take the first map here. We do have to head to a short break as we get things ready for the second map. But we'll be back shortly, and we'll see you guys then.
One city, one stage, one trophy, one champion,
And another kill to find Fallen.
one moment. ESL 1 New York 2018.
Skybox. Stairs.
Nothing great ever happened without a witness.
Oh, you guys saw that?
With the power to capture comes the need to share.
Check this.
Followed by the eyeballs and loud mouths chomping at the bit.
That was nuts.
The fate of the game rests in your hands.
Check this out. No.
Oh my god.
Leave nothing to chance. Game, record, and stream without compromise. Only on Intel Core i7.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Welcome back to the VR League, brought to you by Intel as we do cover the VR Master League and the game Onward. I just want to say really quickly, Blue, in that advertisement, that commercial, how awkward would it have been to just be like a random person just like walking around, you know, like what are they doing here? There's a camera, there's a guy, they just hear him start screaming like that.
I'd be pretty out of place.
Yeah,
it would
that'd
seem
be
like
hilarious. I love that commercial. That's great. Looks like we're already into our second map. We can drop in as soon as we're ready to go on the spectator side. It will be bizarre, and we'll see how this one's going to go. Bossfight currently winning 1-0. Keep in mind, we are playing all three maps, even if they do win this one. But if they do win this one, they have that guaranteed victory. It just depends on how much they win by to see how much MMR they will get from this.
Yeah, very much so. In the amount of your dominance, I guess we could say, in the matchup very much determines into how much MMR/ELO rating you're going to gain on the leaderboards and how much that will push you forward further and further to the top in the season. Like we had mentioned before, both of these teams are currently tied for number 2 on the leaderboard. So the winner, so to speak, of this matchup will be taking that lead away, which is currently under the control of, I think it's Bossfight.
It's tied in MMR, but but Bossfight's number 2.
Correct.
And Let's Go's number 3. So, and also just remind you guys, if you're just joining us and you haven't, hey, random people in the, hey, what's up, guys? We're live. Whatever. There's pizza. So
Just
I'll be
shows
nice
you
to
that ESL is a living, breathing studio, very much so, right?
It's true. It's true. I actually wonder how shows go in here when the office is full, because that's got to be awkward. You know, like you see like the newsroom and you see like the random people like walking by and they're like,
I would 100%.
drop.
I would 100% just start walking back here and making faces.
I would probably 100% like walk by it and like intentionally trip to see how funny that would be, or I might do something less PG and might moon
Oh, that's
the camera.
It's a big step up.
Yeah, I said less PG, right?
Yeah, that's true.
But we obviously do cover a lot of different things on this channel. If you're joining us, it's not only Onward, but we do have Echo Arena, which was the thing we've been doing mostly. We did actually a tournament back in Leicester just last week, and then potentially some Echo Combat. If you guys are familiar with that game, that's in beta at the moment. Really looking forward to that if we do get around to it. Excited to see how that one's gonna actually go, and maybe even some Beat Saber. I wouldn't mind doing that because we have to listen to some sweet tunes. I'm not sure how we would spectate it.
It's going to be next week's show. We're calling it right now,
It'll be me
folks.
versus Blue.
We're just going to be sitting here playing Beat Saber. To be able to look forward to next weekend.
I love playing Beat Saber. It's like one of my favorite games.
I know. Same.
It's great.
Such a great game.
It is.
Good fun all
we're
around.
testing the cameraman right now as he's switching between them. We were told actually the game was ready in 60 seconds about 80 seconds ago. He lied to us. He just told us. Why did you lie to us, Mr. Producer? He said, because you're so handsome, Jason, that I just don't know. I just forgot to switch. There we go. Game has started. And yeah, he did say that. He said, Jason, you're the most handsome man I've ever seen.
Must have missed hitting it on my button then.
Yeah, he's only talking to me.
Gotcha.
Just, wanted to save your ears and didn't want to make you jealous. But anyways, here we go. Kicking off our second map. Remember, it's a best of 7 here on Bazaar. Bossfight currently winning 1-0 in maps. And it looks like they will be on the blue side here attacking. And Lem Squad defending.
I already have a fight as well, way over here as we are seeing another player coming in from Lemon Squad. It's gone for a very quick flank. I think it's Guika once again. Mr. Death, oh, let's see, he did just turn back around and check the flank, but it's too late. Guika's already lined him up and taken him down, so that's a big advantage to Lemon Squad coming up right off the bat.
Yeah, my man Guika pushing up aggressive. We've seen these plays happen just on the last map as well. We're on quarantine. Just like 1, potentially 2 players push up and is able to get the man advantage. Most importantly, again, Lemon Squad already down the series. They're going to need every frag they can possibly get. I do have a nice 3-man coverage on the uplink. Guika just going to be watching the southeast street.
I also notice as well, just taking a look at the mini-map in the bottom right, the kind of diversity of map layouts that we often have in Onward. This one obviously being a lot more closed off, a lot more cover to work with, a lot more buildings to kind of weave in and out of. There's additional dangers tied into that as well.
So you get to one point.
Yeah.
The street.
That's very
true. To get
true.
to this uplink. That's, I mean, you have to figure out, I think that's probably what we're seeing Bossfight do is like look for what direction can we successfully push across the street. Because that's gonna be difficult to do. You're in open cover, or you're not even in cover, you're in open air, open land, open, what's the opposite of cover?
Turf, like open turf?
Open turf, yeah, we'll go with that. A little bit of surf and turf here. And they do have to get across somehow. And obviously you can see with the way Lemon Squad are defending, the angles they're watching, it's not gonna be easy to do that. Guika towards that southeast side is completely covering off that right-hand side. A little bit of battle breaking out yet again. Looks like Bossfight have been knocked at least. Hasn't been finished off.
I think that was our player instead of the market right behind the camera currently.
We do.
Ended up taking the hits from that one and going down. So Bossfight falling behind here on offense to start things off, but
He would have been fine if it wasn't for those darn kids.
we'll get him next time.
Right? That's what he says in the show, right?
Yeah, that's it.
I mean, the dog doesn't say it. The dog just says, "Whoopie-doo."
The dog speaks like incoherent English with like "roo" at
Shaggy.
the end of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Family Guy, where like people can randomly understand Stewie. Just depends. Like Brian can understand him. So it's like reverse Shaggy and Scooby.
Yeah.
But then like other people can't. But like the random non-main characters can. It's weird. I don't understand how that works.
It's very inconsistent, the lore of these shows.
The lore of Family Guy and Scooby-Doo. Well, the lore right now here on Bazaar between Bossfight and Lemon Squad, well, it's going in the way of Lemon Squad as they show their dominance on this map. The res has come back in. Bossfight back to a 4-on-4.
We are going to see as well here. For the most part, Lemon Squad have been playing like an incredibly passive setup as well. Because, I mean, you look at their minimap position. I'm trying to see if there's any variance to this, but it looks like all 4 of the currently alive players, as far as I can see, and yeah, I'm pretty sure that this is correct. We've got pretty much every single one of our players from the Lemon Squad just sitting in this tiny little box around the uplink right now.
It's probably around 36 centimeters, actually,
Yeah.
of a box.
Yeah.
Just don't know what's inside. Probably something delicious. That uplink. Coated in salami.
And cheese.
And cheese. That's what they're doing. Defending this pizza box here. Trying to keep the prize away from Bossfight. And Bossfight currently 4 players still. Takes one very slow. 2 minutes left to go.
Yeah, we can see.
They got a man across the street though.
The problem is they're just trying to find a way, I think, to like knock someone out from Lemon Squad. So they're finally able to kind of like pierce a hole in the defensive setup, which right now it just seems like there isn't really a way to get past it. There we go, though. Another kill looks like it's going to be picked up there recently by Bossfight to bring Lemon Squad down to 3. Finally, they might have an open path to work with, but as you were mentioning, we're below 2 minutes now. That's over half the time gone already. So Bossfight is going to have to move soon if they want to have a chance to get this code uplinked.
Oh, weather balloon.
Nice angle. Just not going to be able to find the bullets from it. The problem is, it's snuck up on from down below by another member of Lemon Squad. Solo is going to be able to get the trade pickup this time. And Bossfight, sadly, they've lost even more of an angle position to work off of here. As now they're pretty heavily restricted, unfortunately.
I think there's 2 men on Lemon Squad inside of this building, though, so they're very susceptible to being rushed down. Actually, I think someone's been able to get across. Yeah, he's above him. He drops down behind them. Is anyone going to notice it? No. Oh, yes, they do. They actually get the 1-for-1 trade there. So luckily, Lemon Squad going to lose one player, but for the greater cause as they do equalize that. And now it's all on Lego.
Gil gonna have to try to go for the 1v2 clutch. He's already got pretty much a player waiting for him right around the corner here if he's not careful.
Butcher kick.
Vikanos will have to be the one to stop him. Oh, and this is gonna be so tough for Lego looking up, but no, Vikanos just crept right out there. I don't know if Lego managed to spot him, but Vikanos' position is not entirely secure. Lego hasn't checked him, however, as he's blinking around the corner right now. Vikanos yet to check his left side, but he has support from his teammate. And there we go, there's the spot. I think both of them spot him at the exact same time, actually. So Lemon Squad knock out that last man from Bossfight, and with that, they're gonna be able to take control of the opening round.
Well, they do deny that delicious warm pizza of the uplink. And Bossfight won't have a chance, but they're going to be the ones that finish it this time. Then we're going to get into the planning phase. And yeah, again, you know, the hard part of the map seems to be crossing that street, as you saw there with the last fry coming through. He tried to get across, and Vikanos just turned and like, hey, what's up, man? Here's a free bullet for your troubles. But they're able to sneak 2 in towards the southeast complex. But just weren't able to stay alive long enough. Again, that early push that we saw on the eastern side, you know, netting them that 1-man advantage for Lemon Squad worked out stupendously for them. I'm just curious to see if they're going to kind of continue to go that same route, or if either team, or sorry, if Bossfight will actually do that themselves this round.
We will find out that in just a moment. Here is, again, just giving the teams a few seconds in between the rounds to strategize, and as soon as they have all individually readied up, we are going to be good to start off the second round and see if Lemon Squad can continue to run the gauntlet and look to tie this series up at 1-1. Especially if they can do it in a 4-0 nature, as that will more than likely put them ahead on points over Bossfight so far in this series and put them in a, so to speak, winning position here in terms of rating.
I wonder if you know, it'd be the weirdest thing ever if there was like a caster MMR. Like all casters are like ranked. And
I've seen games do that before. Like it's a joke, not as a serious thing, but
that would be tough. You know, it's like how do you acquire points from that? Is like, you know, the funny jokes you make? Is it the hype play-by-play? Is it the analysis you get
I know Dota at the international. There's a guy on Reddit who makes posts and like rates everyone's like dress every day, like how like well dressed they are and like if it makes sense style wise and everything, and then gives them like an out of 10 rating, and then he like keeps track of it every day.
Really?
Yeah. He's done it for like the past 2 years, I think, on the Dota subreddit. Every time
I'm
TI
glad
comes
no one
around.
does that in any of the games that I cast, because I think I would probably be dead last every time.
It would be fun to see in CS:GO because everybody dresses so differently in that game as well. Like some guys will go all out with a suit at certain events, and then other guys will just like come to an event and wear like a button up, but then not button the top 2 buttons.
See, I'm a big proponent of, you know, dressing up, but I'm not gonna like overdress someone else. You know, like if everyone's sitting there in just like a shirt, I'm not gonna come in with a shirt, jacket, tie, pants, and shoes. You know, I'm not gonna be that guy. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's just not. I don't know. It obviously depends. Like, you know, if you're the guy maybe like on stage doing the hosting, maybe you need to dress up a little bit more than everyone else.
A little more formal.
There's no way I'm gonna be on the desk with you and show up like, you know, next week when we cast, which I think is gonna be Echo Arena. I'm not gonna show up in a full tuxedo when you come in with a shirt. Like that's just.
I mean, we could.
I mean, maybe I will do
There's
that.
no one saying we can't do that now that we're thinking about it.
Yeah, I can already, you know, hear it. Jason, you're a little overdressed for this. Can you change it up so next time I actually just show up in like a tank top? Like, Jason, you're a little under. Can you just, you know, meet us halfway?
We can just flip every week is what we can do. Like one of us comes in really well dressed, and the other one just like wears like an undershirt or something like that.
I'm down. I mean, to be honest, how many people want to see us anyways? They want to see the game. They want to see the action. Speaking of that, the second round will be kicking off. Bossfight down in this map, but up in the series. Let's see if Lemon Squad can contain this momentum. And look at this, moving up towards the west side. So switch things up, not going towards the east. And no one on Bossfight actually pushing aggressively, so they're more inclined to sit back and, well, actually, as I say that, there's a man pushing up the right-hand side. There's no one there to necessarily meet him, but that's going to be a big frag coming through, so if we can actually go to that part of the view.
Vikanos might be able to pick someone off right here if he spots him, but no,
okay.
What's he paying attention to is trying to keep himself safe, so a member of Bossfight just runs right out on top of him and gets an easy first kill for them.
Who's that on the east side, though? There's like 2 players next to each other, potentially about to fight. Oh, little Miyagi and Scorpio.
Lemon Squad very quickly losing their advantage here. And in addition to that, you can see Scorpio. He is standing at the ready to take on.
Bossfight player got him, by the way. Sorry to cut you off on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
In that 1v1, he actually does get that elimination and does give them the opportunity to hold this position too, letting the people who are playing around the uplink to play a little bit safer and not have to worry about that eastern side.
I like this split up though because it's going to obviously allow for them to keep good watch on the flanks right now. In addition to that, still holds a strong 3-man core by the actual uplink. So if anybody tries to like rush across the street from Lemon Squad by that uplink, they're more than likely going to get picked off pretty quickly.
I think with Scorpio here, like it's such a pivotal point. Because he gives him so much information.
He's not in a good spot if Miyagi goes through the building though, so he's got to be careful about that. And we can see he's checking both positions.
Well, Polis there. Being very cautious about this. You can see him just trying to look through those cracks on those wood planks to get every bit of information he possibly can. But there's so much time on the board, there's no need for them to necessarily get aggressive here. Lil Miyagi, I think he actually came in as a substitute here. It's the first time I've seen him. And the two players on the Lemon Squad side are pushing that left-hand side, that western side.
Keeping it super quiet right now. But again, Scorpio still looming here at the entrance to the apartment building.
Oh, that's going to be annoying for his neck to have to keep your head on a swivel like that to watch two angles.
Fight should be happening soon, though. Actually, I think he's going to make a move. Oh, look at that. Runs right up and takes them both out. Beautiful moves from Scorpio. Uses that other fight that I think was happening more towards the middle of the map as a great distraction. And just like that, Bossfight have absolutely dominated Lemon Squad, mainly due to Scorpio's nice little 1v2 play that he has over on the west side of the map, leaving it all on his solo now at a 1v5.
Smoke's going to come in and actually give away his position a little bit here. Not sure what he's looking to do with it if he did throw. Yeah, there it is. But just look at the attention. Look at the mini-map. Look at the directions that everyone's looking in. They know generally now where he is, and Solo's going to have to go big here.
Scorpio is going to try to be the one to complete the full set here and get himself a nice little 3K on the round. He has run directly past him, however, so it does kind of get lost inside of the actual bazaar itself, and will end up going down to Solo. Problem is, he's now been revealed, and it doesn't look like he has a whole lot of clean ways to get out of this position, so he's kind of going to freeze up for a second, just to make sure no one else was with Scorpio, and we'll look for the quick trade kill.
I mean, there is a world where Solo does pull this off. It's a very far-fetched and difficult world, but it technically could be doable. The problem is that he's playing against the clock now, and moving across the street when there's so many people watching these angles, it's going to be so hard. You see Solo, he notices the man behind the car. Goes for the shots. Not going to hit them, though, and he will fall. That will be, finally, Bossfight taking a round here on our second map.
And again, that's the unfortunate part of those 1vx scenarios, is it's just so easy for you to get picked off by only a stray bullet or two that you have to play incredibly passively and just hope that your opponents go directly into the correct angles. Will not play out this way on this round, however. So as we will see, players from Bossfight quickly striking back, now tie the game up at 1-1.
So going back to our dress talk of ranking casters, what's your ideal casting attire?
If I have absolute authority over it,
yeah. What would you wear?
If I could wear whatever I'd want, I'd probably just wear a t-shirt because it's the most comfortable. And I'm always casting my best when I'm the most comfortable. Okay. But if I had to be slightly dressed, probably be like t-shirt blazer combo.
Okay. All right. Okay.
With a double-breasted jacket though. Get a little fancy.
I mean, it'd be weird to have one breast.
Well, no, you know what a double-breasted jacket is, right? It's like the ones that fold over your chest.
Yeah.
I don't looks like it has 4 buttons. I love those. Like I bought one a few months ago, and I think they look cool as heck.
Well, I can't argue with you when you're wearing an ESL, great-looking shirt, which you can buy on our stores.
That's true.
I actually don't know where you can purchase those. I mean, I'm not even sure if you're even allowed to really show that on stream, because I can see something that makes it a little bit risky. Okay, I don't want to say it is on there. Anyways, okay. So you were about to ask me about what's my ideal casting attire, I think.
Yeah, what's your ideal casting attire?
Thanks for asking, Blue. Yeah. Thanks for thinking about me there. By the way, that's not correct. It's not 1-to-1 currently. It is well, actually, sorry.
1-to-1 in the map.
My bad.
Yeah,
it's technically 1-to-1 in rounds. It's the best of 3. It's actually leaning towards Bossfight at the moment. My ideal casting attire would be actually a vest and shirt. Maybe a tie. I like vests actually quite a bit with like rolled up sleeves.
Like the undershirt to like a jacket combo, right?
Yeah, like a proper like button-up shirt with a vest.
The vest.
And then the sleeves rolled up.
Okay.
Maybe a tie.
See, I don't mind the vest if you have a
Because like
jacket
vests
with
make
it.
you look really slim.
Yeah, I don't personally like the vest. Like, I think it looks good on some people, but I think for me, it doesn't look that good if I don't have a
You
jacket
look
with
great in a vest, I think. You look great in anything.
it. Never actually purchased like a vest by itself. So I've had rented suits with vests, and I think they look cool, but I've never bought one.
Yeah. I like to dress up. I like to look fancy.
I think I'm over budget for this year on buying suits though, so I have to hold back for a little bit.
But as like you can like get it for free technically. Because you get it back in taxes. We talked about this before, I remember.
Yeah, it's a bit of a
Well, our spectator wants to
gray
drive
area.
a Jeep, it looks like.
beep beep on a Jeep. I don't think you can drive it, sadly. You're kind of a floating ethereal camera. So
Tell him what he can't do here, Blue. Look it up. He's angry at you.
I mean, if you shake the camera enough, it looks like it's moving. So there we go.
We're heading. It's quite bumpy. This
It's a
road.
bumpy road here.
Yeah. Leaving these doors open, you know, he's really feeling it. No seatbelt on. That's dangerous, kids. Don't do that.
We do not endorse seatbeltless vehicles here.
I swear this next round's gonna start soon.
What's he checking out here? He's checking out the undercarriage of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, I was distracted by someone walking behind us again. Hard at work, clearly.
And once again, guys, we are just waiting for the individual players to ready themselves up, and then we will be good to jump into our third round. Both teams tied neck and neck, and the points to win, by the way.
Now he's pretending to be shooting the camera.
You need to like rattle the camera again when you're on the
Yeah,
gun.
like while you're shooting.
I can do sound effects. Ready? Let's go. See, that was good.
Still shooting.
Oh, I mean, I can't do that forever.
Yeah, but now he's out of ammo, so you have to make the sound.
Oh, wait, go back. We can reload. I don't know where you reload
This
the
is
gun
fun.
from.
This is great.
There we go. All right, we need a.
He's shooting again.
No, ding, reload. Oh, and the
I
round's
don't think
starting.
the gun says reload. I don't know what kind of games you're playing, but my guns don't speak to
We
me.
don't have a good communication line, so we have to give, like when you read a script and there's like the physical commands in parentheses. It's like we just physically read one of those, is what we did.
All right, well, luckily we can stop hearing the machine gun being fired, even though great sound effects. I swear, like, I thought I was watching Whose Line Is It Anyway there for a second. And we are going to our third round. Bossfight and Lemon Squad tied up here rounds on Bazaar, but Bossfight is currently leading 1-0 in the series. Again, aggressive push towards that right-hand side coming through. Uplink, going to be on the northwest side this time, though, as Lemon Squad are looking to defend.
Much different position, but I feel like this is just off of like obviously like a layman's glance at this one. I feel like this one's gonna be a little bit more easily defendable for Lemon Squad because there's like a much bigger street these guys have to go across. You can't kind of sneak around the buildings on the east or the west side of the map, which is why the defending team had to split up so heavily. This one I feel like it's way more defensible in the corner, so this actually might be a good kind of luck of the draw thing for Lemon Squad here if they're able to pull this off.
Can you do the sound effect one more time? Why do you say yeah?
So it's like a machine gun.
Is that the first bullet sound?
Yeah.
Have you ever heard a machine gun?
Yeah.
All right, okay, I'll trust you. I'll trust that. You know,
how else would I make a machine gun
whenever
sound?
I shoot a machine gun now in any game I ever play, I'm gonna think of that clip. Yeah. Can you do helicopter? That's Ventrilo, all right? That doesn't count anymore. That's good old TTS. Yeah, I think I know exactly what that's from. And then, of course,
I was testing you there.
one of the best ones I've ever heard in Ventrilo was left square bracket, right square bracket, left square
Oh my
bracket,
God.
right square bracket. I had a friend who used to spam that and actually crash the server. But in the meantime, Scorpio, he's actually looking to crash the party, crash the Lemon Squad here. As the two players have pushed up towards that north-hand side, while the other three Bossfight are pushing down towards the southwest. I'm really nervous I'm going to say the wrong direction one of these times. I actually have, in my head, I do
I mean, we technically don't know if
never
this
eat
is...
sour watermelon every time. Is that what you use as well? Is that what you're
Wait,
talking?
what is this for?
Never eat sour watermelon.
What is that, like a...
Northeast, southwest.
Oh, no, I just know it.
Oh. All right, okay. You know, my very educated mother just served us 9 pizzas, but whatever. Oh, wow. All right, so quick 2 frags comes in for Bossfight as Lemon Squad try to push out and get aggressive.
2 separate angles as well.
That
This is going
outer
to open
flank
up.
was big.
This is going to open up a lot of opportunity for Bossfight to take ground right now because there's no way Lemon Squad are going to be able to cover all that quickly enough. So now all of a sudden Lemon Squad have to basically keep their heads on a swivel. It's a good trade comes in for Paulus, and he'll just move in to quickly double tap and finish off that member of Bossfight there, bring things back down to a slightly more even point. But he still has to be careful. He's got other players from Bossfight nearby as well.
Yeah, big frag coming in. I mean, it was starting to snowball against them and obviously being closed in from different angles. Oh, more shots grounding off here, as you can see. Towards that northwest side, a 1v1 battle going on over there. It's going to be Scorpio and Co. Should be able to hear him under. Well, actually, they're going to hear each other. He's actually going to drop down behind him. He gets the shot.
love
Look at
it.
that. That was Splinter Cell type of play.
The drop down even gives him a nice little warning there as well. But he's going to keep on the move right now. This is getting very chaotic very quickly. He snuck back up. He's going to try to go for the uplink, but it's too slow as they manage to take control of the round. Anyway, just through pure eliminations, Lemon Squad gets wiped off the board, and Bossfight now take control of the map at 2-1. 2 more to go until map victory.
Well, now Lemon Squad. Actually, well, we have time to talk about now. We have time for our lovely spectator, actually, to give more sound effects, or to give the opportunity for more great sound effects from Blue. He's a one-man soundboard.
Go in the bar. We can get some sound effects in the bar. What? That already has sound effects, though. That is real sound effects.
I'm just waiting. Yeah, okay, power lines. All right, let's hear power lines.
Power lines don't make sounds, do they?
Yeah, they do.
They're not supposed to.
Or they do the...
Just like a humming noise if you get
Or
close
if it's like
enough.
electricity, isn't it like the yak? Doesn't it like sound like that a little?
Test the coil.
Yeah, that's something.
That's different.
I don't know what that is. No one in Germany knows what that is.
That's an air conditioner.
Yeah,
I think
Germany's never heard of those.
Wait. It even says air conditioner on it. On the right there. Right there. Look. Wait, what does it say?
Air condicionado.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Spanish.
Gotcha.
Yeah, but Germany doesn't know what those are, actually. They've never heard of air conditioning because I've been living here 6 years and I still have yet to ever see anyone use it.
You guys probably save a lot of energy that way, to be fair.
Yeah. Very green country.
Compared to the U.S., where we're just like
Everything's air conditioned.
let's just put everything on 69 degrees.
I have to go outside for 10 seconds. Let me just get my portable air conditioner for it. Here we go. Next round, kick it off. It is currently 2-1 for Bossfight on this round. Ignore the 1-1 because it's 2-1. And now Lemon Squad looking to potentially get this uplink for themselves.
And they will be unleashed from the spawn zone in just about 3 seconds here. Same uplink position this time around here, as now it is going to be Bossfight on defense. What were they trying to do there?
Try to give them. All right, forget I'm dropping. I gotta go, bro.
The round starts.
So I think it's a smart play. Actually, he gives him his own grenade. So now Scooby-Doo's holding one, and he has one on his vest too. So now he has double nades.
And this is nice because you can stack the more passive players.
I think he just put it down on the ground next to him too.
Oh,
smart.
And this is really cool because you can stack the more passive players with additional utility. As a reminder, again, for those of you who may have never played Onward before, you have a limited amount of points when you go into rounds to be able to spend on equipment. So by doing things like that, it's going to give you an opportunity to just stack players that are more than likely going to be alive closer to the end of the round with additional utility to be able to use. Whereas the more aggressive players, obviously, they can just hand that off to their teammates and be free to take additional risks without too much, risk of losing those things.
Well, Mr. Death here again, just going to be holding an angle. It's going to be hard to see that distance. I was just wondering for some reason, some people that hold a microscope up, not a microscope, a magnifying glass up to their screens when they play with a mouse and keyboard to see really far distances without a scope.
They do that?
I wonder if any player puts a small magnifying glass inside of the headset to be able to see super far.
See, the problem with that though is that wouldn't the pixels just have a diminishing return effect on that eventually, to where you wouldn't actually be able to see?
I'll poke holes in this.
Yeah.
Let my dreams be dreams, okay?
It's a good theory. I think we need higher resolution screens in VR before it becomes more viable, though.
VR in 4K. That'd be insane.
It does exist. It does exist.
It?
Yeah, there's they're not good for gaming, but I think there's an 8K one somewhere out there right now.
Really?
I think that one's for movies and stuff, but they do exist.
I hate watching 3D movies, so I don't think I would enjoy watching movies in VR, to be honest.
It's cool if you
Cloudy
have
with the Chance of Meatballs 2 scared the crap out of me. Or no, it was the first one. It scared me so bad when I saw it in 3D.
Some 3D movies.
I think I'd
thought
be
were
excited
good.
though because it's food flying at you. You know, I love food.
You'd have to go into it hungry.
Yeah.
Imagine if you like just had like an all-you-can-eat buffet, and then you go in to see that movie. It's like, no, just keep it away from me.
What? Why would you? Shut up. We're both
Because
Americans
you
here.
just stuffed yourself.
We're Americans here. Come on.
Taking a look, though. So we've got Lemon Squad making slow progress on the wraparound over towards Bossfight's uplink position. Bossfight once again, though, took a very passive approach to this round. Besides moving their players across the street to the east of their uplink and kind of taking over the area in these apartments right before the actual bazaar. Besides that, they haven't really done much else besides
Who's
keeping
the
one
player
of
to
their...
the southwest? Actually, that's like kind of trying to push up. He's sitting behind a car in the street. Might be potentially a big player. It's going to be Bikenost. Okay. He has the opportunity to be a big player for them in this round. Not to mention, Bossfight's already lost out on one. That was a long shot too. It looked like the man towards the very northwest fallen.
I think he got shot earlier as well. Either that or the player from Lemon Squad. I knew he like went by someone. I think it was from Bossfight, and they took a hit from long range. I'm pretty sure it was the same guy that ended up going down there. And look at Solo right now. Doesn't even realize it yet, but he is sneaking right up on the Hornet's nest. He's got 2 to 3 enemies within very close proximity here.
Yep. Let's see who's going to be able to get this one. Though Solo, he's just trying to stay out of the way of the window. Scorpio. Pretty much comes down to who makes that first bit of noise. There's 2 players as well, so if Solo shoots one, you would assume that the other player on Bossfight would be able to get the return. But actually, no, stick this point of view, don't switch. Solo, if he comes around the corner, he actually get right behind him. Look at that, he sneaks through. Solo.
No movement from Weather Balloon, though. So we'll keep a close eye on that. Solo's got a chance to knock him out as well. Solo's just going to take up a defensive position for right now, though. I continue to run down the timer a little bit more here. Down below 2 minutes, though, so Lemon Squad are going to have to start making a move relatively quickly, otherwise they risk running out the timer before they can send the uplink code.
Gotta respect Weather Balloon, though. If the same, oh no, now he starts to run. Solo's gonna hear him, but Solo gets overrun. How? What? Did someone give him the information to tell him he was there? I don't think Solo made any noise at all, and now we're tied at 3 apiece. Bikenos trying to respond as well. He's gonna fall. Scooby-Doo peeks out of the corner, says, boo. Wait, that wasn't him. That was the ghost. The ghost! And now it's going to be a 2-on-2 situation here. Lego. Oh, definitely going to hear that coming in.
Got to be careful, though, because he sneaks around and goes upstairs instead. And everything falls silent, so Lego's not in the greatest position all of a sudden here. He's going to try to move himself rapid back around, but no. We'll still end up going down, bringing this into a 1v2 now for Bossfight. It is just down to
look at this.
their players moving in, and we can see him in the distance there wrapping in. In the meanwhile, Lemon Squad have both of their players alive and well, but as we can see, that last man standing for Bossfight still has control over the uplink. This is more than likely to be the last objective that Lemon Squad have to get past.
I mean, they're going to have to push eventually, right? 48 seconds. Just spot out where he is. If you can relay that information. Here's some smokes as well on the ground. Scooby-Doo shooting a couple of shots. Actually does get one. Now it comes down to a 1-on-1 situation with 30 seconds left to go here, Blue. Scooby-Doo, right behind you, is it going to be potentially a player? That
It honestly looks like Scooby's just rushing the uplink at this point to try to get a quick code uplink. He's going to move in. We'll quickly go for it. He's got himself directly behind it now. He's not going to go directly for the uplink, however. Still sat behind because he knows he can hear this last man from Lemon Squad. Moves in, and it's very close, but it looks like Bossfight will take the credit first as they do get the final kill before the trade comes in. I think one bullet was shot just a little bit too late there by Lemon Squad, so Bossfight will shoot ahead once again, now leading it 3-1, only one more away from taking the map, along with a 2-0 status so far in this 3-map series.
I didn't know he became so British. Status.
Why is that a British word?
Because it's status in America, isn't it?
I suppose you can kind of say it both ways in America. I say it both ways, depending
Do you
on
say
like,
aluminum or do you say aluminium?
I say aluminum. Aluminium's insane.
Really, that's smart that you said that because I might have thrown away your dinner.
Don't do that.
Don't do that. Well, some good stuff coming from production. Keep us entertained here. Even though we're going to have to talk to one of them after and probably fire him.
Wow, I didn't know you had that authority.
I don't. He doesn't know that. But of course, if you just joined us, this is the VR League. Actually covering the VR Master League this week and covering the game Onward as we're into, I think, our fifth week of games, actually. get head over to vrmasterleague.com if you want to actually check that out. There's also have a Discord over there you can check in with if you're interested in the game and get connected to players who play this game competitively. You ready? You looking?
Oh, are we doing this again? Okay, I'm ready. Yeah.
He even nodded. He even nodded. He's like,
I'm
yeah,
ready.
we're doing this.
All
Come
right,
on.
ready? Let's go.
Oh, now you're gonna do the tank sound.
I don't even know how. Wait, hold on. I'm not
Was
done.
that a Nerf
Wait,
gun?
let's try this again. Hold on.
Was that
well, the shooting sound isn't that loud, but the explosion is. Ready? Let's do the tank thing again. Ready?
Wait, it's not a grenade launcher.
It could be a grenade
What
launcher.
sounds do you, I feel bad for whatever tank you had as a child.
It's a stealth. It's a stealth tank.
Oh, it's got a silencer on it,
Yeah,
right?
it's
I forgot.
got a-
Okay, my
what-
bad. I didn't see the silencer.
That's why. That's what the little nib at the end is.
A little nib, the tip. So many air conditioners here in the bazaar. But yeah, so we saw Bossfight again in that last round, doing a fairly good attack. Or sorry, defense actually. And then coming down to a couple of quick plays Scooby-Doo coming up big, get the last 2 kills for the team, and actually got on around the board and put him now 1 round away. Oh, let's listen.
Yeah, they might spot us. You remember all the flashes and everything, Weather Balloon?
Sounds like calm. Yeah. Guys, Blue, do you remember all the flashes?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes. All right, well, we're getting into this one now. Potentially the final round of this map. Bossfight, can they take it to 4-1 affair like they did in the last map, or will we be seeing another one if Lemon Squad can hold on? Solo, you had such great shots on Quarantine. Haven't really seen it transition well here into Bazaar. And again, when you're down 3-1 like this, it's obviously very difficult to pick up these frags.
New uplink position as well, so things are going to change as a result of that. And as we do see Lemon Squad already taking up that defensive position once again, but they are a little bit more adventurous with it because it's in a more centralized location. They do have to send off players to the left and right sides of the map to get ready for any flanks, and specifically they're trying to maintain heavy control of the Bazaar because they have 2 guys on kind of the extremities of that middle portion of the map in the market itself.
Well, I mean, speaking of flanks and stuff, with what we just heard really quick at a boss fight, asking if Weather Balloon knows the flashes, it looks like they know the set attack they want to pull off here to make this uplink work. So obviously you have to keep a very swift eye on Weather Balloon in particular, who's actually leading the charge, pushing up that right-hand side. His teammates giving him the cover he needs. Solo's probably going to get the first bit of contact here. Already some smokes being thrown on as well. I'm not sure exactly where, but you can hear them. Can you do the smoke grenade sound?
So the audio guy probably hates me now because I did that, but
I mean, let's be honest. They probably hate us completely right now. Because we're talking about sound. I think only the spectator likes us because he's getting to do some sick gun sounds. And look at that! Wow, it's boss fight. Not sure where those 3 fractures came from, but those were extremely fast. And again, maybe off the back of Weather Balloon, the flashes that they threw. They had that set plan.
It also looked like Lemon Squad was being a tad more aggressive than they had been in this round as well. I noticed that the first one to go down was the one that was right by the uplinks. The only way he would have gone down to that is if he went for a more aggressive peek out into the market. So considering that, I think Lemon Squad kind of dug their own grave here because once again, now they've lost it. It's already kind of spiraled out of control, but now it's down to a 5v1 here.
Well, Scorpio pushed in. And he does not actually get that frag there. Good job by Polis Build to actually stop him from getting that free transition, but it's pretty much all into him, and I'm not sure if the communication was made in time, but he's the last man alive, and he's up against 4 to keep this team's hopes alive of potentially staying in the series or boss fight. If they get this last frag, we'll take the series in a 2-0. But obviously, we'll be playing out that 3rd map due to the MMR system. But boss fight can kind of maybe take their foot off the pedal, and that's going to be it. That's going to be the final frag coming through. That will be boss fight taking the map, taking the series technically, and now looking for that final map here in the best of 3 to see to see how much maybe MMR they actually get off of this, because they're both equally ranked at 1230.
Yep, and I imagine the 3rd map, if they are able to take that one as well, that will secure them additional points for MMR to push them even further up to the leaderboard and closer to challenging the current #1 seed, which is the beginner, is sitting at 1280 MMR.
Like, not oxymoron, but it's kind of like a funny name.
It's an ironic name.
Ironic.
Yeah.
Thank you. That they're #1 and they're called beginners. It's like being ranked 1 and be called noobs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. All right, guys, we're going to head to a break. When we come back, we will be kicking off our 3rd map here. It's our 3rd and final map of the series, and later on we'll be moving over to American Eastern to catch an exciting match with the best ranked team and the, I think, best team in the world, we can safely say, after the Onward Invitational that took place in June. So we'll head to that break, and we'll be back shortly.
One city. One stage. One trophy. One champion.
And another kill to find Fallen.
One moment. ESL 1 New York 2018.
Try box. Stairs, stairs, stairs.
Nothing great ever happened without a witness.
Oh, you guys saw that?
With the power to capture comes the need to share.
Check this.
Followed by the eyeballs and loud mouths chomping at the bit.
That was nuts.
The fate of the game rests in your hands.
Check this out. No.
Oh my god.
Leave nothing to chance. Game, record, and stream without compromise. Only on Intel Core i7.
Start your esports career now at play.eslgaming.com.
Welcome back to the VR League, guys. Brought to you by Intel. We're covering the VR Master League this week, and it's going to be the game Onward. We're actually into our third map here of this first series. It's going to be Bossfight up against Lemon Squad. And you know what? We're going to be on Suburbia here, Blue. Currently, Bossfight leading 2-0 in the series, so they have got their guaranteed victory. So now I wonder, are they going to take their foot off the gas, or do they really want that MMR?
Much smaller map as well overall here on Suburbia, so expect rounds to play out a lot quicker as a result of that. It has a lot to do with the spawn point sometimes. We do see Bossfight throwing away one of their players, but it works out to trade in an even exchange. It has now brought us down into a 3 versus 2 scenario. Lemon Squad, I think, is pretty much holding inside of the house where the uplink is positioned, basically, now that they've lost their 2 more offensive players on defensive setups here.
A minute in, yeah, and we have just 5 players in total remaining on the map. You can see the kill feed, not the kill feed, the kills on the mini-map there, just pretty much point-blank center. Really big skirmish for that house. But the 3 players in Lemon Squad going to be defending that uplink towards that south side, and obviously Bossfight don't know that there's no one here really to stop them from getting over to that location. But I like the way Lemon Squad are actually playing this, you know, sticking together, playing from like basically one area. The only downside is they can't see people crossing that street with, I think, the angles they're holding, so that could be a little bit of a detriment. But you can see Mr. Death here trying to look through the bushes, trying to spot out anyone he possibly can. It'd be so sick if you can actually like stick your hand in the bushes and like move them as well. So like got like that like in depth of the game.
That would be getting crazy right there.
That'd be awesome.
I'm imagining how much of a toll that would take on like your GPU, just try to like individually render. Yeah.
But it looks like actually Bossfight was able to get one frag. I think Mr. Death was able to secure the kill on the bottom hand side of the map. And actually Bossfight lost their last player too. So Lemon Squad taking the first round here in very quick fashion. 1 minute and 57 seconds in. But keep in mind, they're also fighting for their MMR here. Obviously, they have lost the series, so that is not going to be changed. But what they can change is the amount that they will lose by. So taking this map would be massive for them.
I mean, we'll see if they are going to be able to still bring it back. Remember, though, the first map also started off with a successful round for the Lemon Squad, which quickly curtailed and went pretty much the exact opposite direction over towards Bossfight after that. I think the map ended up being 4-1 at the end of the day. So we will see if the same fate repeats itself, or if Lemon Squad, this is their map, if they get a little bit more firepower to dish out here on Suburbia.
Yes, you know what I like about this map, this map compared to the rest? It looks like it's a much faster paced map, which I think you need to have. You need to have those fast paced maps versus the slower pace, because obviously it's a different skill set to play both of them. You have to change the entire mentality of how you actually play that map. But for instance here, you know, you can breach these houses really well together, and you have to be coordinated to where you throw your flashbang, where you throw your grenades, your smokes as well, to really open up a house to be taken. That's why we saw such a big skirmish happen in the middle. So maybe Lemon Squad, this is something that's going to favor them. The more aggressive, fast-paced style is where they're going to succeed. Obviously, coming into the next round where they're going to be attacking will help determine how that's going to go. But either way, good start by them. They did take the first round off the last map when we were on Bazaar, but first round didn't really matter, as you saw Bossfight just take the rest of them.
So now we are just waiting once again, guys, for all players to ready up. As soon as they've done that, the second round shall begin. And Lemon Squad's attempts to finally take a map off of Bossfight are going to continue here. See, that one has sound effects. Yeah, no,
go to the school bus.
You need to go to something that doesn't have sound effects.
School bus off to your right-hand side. Go to the school bus on the east side of the map. I want to hear Blue's school bus sound effects.
What would a... wait the next round.
Oh.
You're going to have to wait, ladies and gentlemen.
Damn these players for being ready so quickly.
Where'd you see the school bus?
Yeah, east side.
Oh, I see it on the mini-map now.
Yeah.
Okay. I didn't see it.
I wasn't making it up, I swear.
I knew it was in the map. I think I'd remembered playing on it previously, but couldn't spot it myself for some reason.
What if you could actually get the cars and like drive them into the buildings? I would just, I would love to see just run over an entire team.
Terrain and everything like that.
That'd be crazy. All right, so here we go. Boss fight now. See if they can take a round themselves, or Lemon Squad can continue to fight their way through.
Boss fights are also going to taking a more aggressive position. We can see our observer giving us a nice overview of it right now. Mr. Death, along with the other two from Boss Fight, splitting up to each of the three houses at the midpoint. This is going to leave them alone and somewhat vulnerable, considering that. But at the same time, due to their close proximity, I would imagine it's relatively easy for one to jump in and add additional support.
It's a risky position that Mr. Death is in, but I like it. High risk, high reward. Lemon Squad trying to go for the attack. Again, using that smoke to push through this middle fence section. Rafanek, yeah, new player for Lemon Squad coming in. So just be transitioning in and out their players. I wonder if that's actually map dependent, or maybe they want to give him some time in the competitive environment when it's all on the line. Either way, Lemon Squad. Look at all four players in this midfield. That's what I call it, the midfield. This line of scrimmage that's going on. All four players looking like the same direction, just straight down, looking for anyone in Boss Fight to just get over aggressive, to get over eager. And their fifth player is actually wrapping around, it looked like at one point.
There's the school bus. But Lone Miyagi take up a position behind it right now.
It's just waxing on and waxing off.
It's going to continue to look to slowly inch forward here past it.
Let's look for him to sweep the leg as he does push in.
Same time his teammates are...
You know what I'm talking about, right, Blue?
I'm missing you on this one.
Karate Kid?
Okay, yeah. Now I get you. Oh, okay, yeah.
Do you, though? Are we watching Karate Kid tonight?
I've seen Karate Kid. It's just been, like, forever.
With the Jaden
No,
Smith?
I've seen, like, the actual one as well.
Okay. The real one, the only one.
Yeah, the one... What was that from, like, the late 80s, I think, was that movie? Or was it 90s?
It was, I don't know, actually.
I think it was late 80s that movie came out. I could be wrong.
I mean, I love how Jackie Chan was in it, but, Jaden Smith talking about mirrors and whatever he tweets. See, we can hear, actually, some shots going off, but not netting anything. Mr. Death, look at him. He actually gets out of the prone, looking around the corner. Oh, he actually gets dropped by Rafanek, though.
Spots him, I think, through the house, out one of the windows or something, so it's going to be able to take him down. Boss fight now down to 3 players. Lemon Squad, they've lost one partially. He's gone into the down state, but hasn't been fully knocked out just yet, and they will be able to successfully res him, now leaving Weather Balloon in a pretty delicate position. So he's going to try to creep back out. He's got 2 opponents directly to his left side, however. He's got to keep an eye on that. Otherwise, will find himself going down relatively soon. He just doesn't want to jump into the engagement, wants to keep himself hidden until the last possible moment. And yep, there we go. Baikonauts is going to run directly around to his left side and take him down quite easily, limiting Bossfight's potentially even more here now as they're just down to 2.
I go with the LMG, trying to do something. There's a man behind the tank. There's a man towards the houses. He knows that he's the last man alive, or ideally he should be able to know this here. Up against 5, and he's just going to push out. He's trying to get aggressive, and he's looking for that first one, but he'll get absolutely nothing. And that's Lemon Squad taking a flawless round. I think that's the first flawless round we've had of the series.
Yeah, and it's coming from Lemon Squad of all teams as well.
Polis. All right, he's dead, man. He's dead already.
Oh, really good about that kill. He had to
Don't
celebrate.
dunk yourself. I knew you were going to do that. The second I saw you notice that basketball goal, I knew he's going to just dunk himself.
I don't think I can make a basketball
He slam
switch
dunked
sound.
from half court.
There we go. Oh, you missed. There we go. Let's see. Now you missed again. And up. And oh, whoa! What is
Like
what?
Space Jam
What kind of
almost.
basketball do you have?
Oh, isn't he the basketball?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking. He like bounced like 4 times and
Wind took it. That's why.
the wind.
took it.
That's
Yeah.
hurricane force winds here in Suburbia.
Swish.
Yeah, I don't think I can make a.
He's heating up.
I don't know.
He's on fire. Our spectators having, I think, more fun right now in between rounds.
He's having
and-
more fun trying to have us imitate the sounds of whatever he's doing.
What does he want now?
What is it?
That is not an American license plate, by the way. And why is it backwards?
ASU USA.
What?
Well,
He's like, oh, they're starting again. It's like, what can I entertain myself with on the map? Oh, here we go. Into our 3rd round, Lemon Squad. 2 away from taking their first map in the series. Like Polis, Baikonauts, and Guika are gonna be pushing up together.
much more,
Oh, we got the shield coming out now, finally.
much more neutral uplink position as well. You can see it's way more up the field this time. So I think boss fight.
Upfield. I got you going on this.
Still use that.
It's more, it's more like first base area, I think.
First base area.
If we
yeah.
consider this like a diamond.
If we drew a diamond, be a lopsided diamond. I feel like first base would be like up to the right a little
Diamond's
bit more.
4 sides, right?
Correct.
And this map is 4 sides.
Yeah, but doesn't a diamond?
Coincidence?
Doesn't a diamond have to be a square, or is that incorrect?
Are we doing that again? Oh man, I don't know if no one will know what we're talking about unless you watched the Echo Arena show last week. Scooby Doo. He's got the sandbags for protection. Just trying to reload here. A lot of nades going off, but no eliminations just yet. Rafanek
Weather Balloon's got a nice flank though. Look at that.
checking out some real estate here, seeing where if he likes this house, maybe wants to purchase it.
The problem for
He just destroyed the window, so he actually hates the house, is what I've seen. And he's going to blame it on Baikonauts, actually.
very disrespectful tour of the open house.
It's a
that we
beautiful
find out
house,
here.
you know?
Yeah.
Probably like $250,000 in like eastern
I was about to say that's
Texas, it looks like. Got a pool that, with no water. He's got an open fence to the next door neighbors, so maybe that's a downside.
just an open neighborhood. They're very friendly. We are going to finally see a member of the Lemon Squad going down.
Very friendly neighborhood with like, what is that called? I can't remember the name of that vehicle.
The APC?
Yeah, it's like APC. Yeah, it's friendly with an APC. Just
There's
randomly there, a tank as well.
There's just a
Yeah,
military.
it's very safe. It's a very safe neighborhood, I think we could say.
There's a military surplus collector that lives in the neighborhood as well.
Oh, here we go. Shield pushing, coming.
He's trying to rush
look at
up.
that.
Gets
All
the
right.
pickup as well, even inside of the smoke. Now he's got it obscured. He's going to be able to take the house. I don't know if this player from Lemon Squad is going to be able to fight him. We can see he's just holding the shield right above his head so we can quickly get the reload off here, I believe.
I really want to know, because I'll be honest, I don't know, if you could just beat someone to death with the shield, with the riot shield. Just like smack him with it. Like, that could legitimately do a lot of damage in real life.
Is that the player yelling surrender or?
Surrender or we will take your house.
I'm trying to figure out if that was a player's voice or if that was something in game.
Oh, Guika, he's going to be in a tough position here. You got to crouch for the balloon. Make sure your legs aren't showing. You're going to rush through. There we go. What's he going to do? He gets around the side.
He's going to be able to pick him off, and with that, Lemon Squad will once again take control. so far just dominating this third map on Suburbia. We kind of have to wonder where this Lemon Squad was. The different play style of the map that suddenly brought them back into it?
Cannot go in the tank. Okay. He's like, I hate you, Jason.
Now, the uplink has sound.
Go to the school bus. He's looking for it. I don't know school bus in German.
It's on the other side, by the way.
Autoschule.
There you go, you got it, really?
Schulauto.
No, you were heading right for it. You were heading right for it.
Schulbus.
Oh, the wrong way again. Oh, wow. Well,
What do you think happened with this truck? My guess.
I think it just ran into the concrete barriers, if we're being honest. That's what looks like it happened.
Well, how would
Just
it
looks like he's
flip?
not a very responsible driver.
But it's a safe neighborhood. Blue.
Clearly not for that truck driver.
That's like Cruising USA kind of license plate right there. It's a great game. That'd be actually sick if they had that in VR. I would play that. Cruising the USA.
Don't think I've ever played
Or
that.
like a Mario Kart in VR. Hey, there's a school bus. Hey, we made it. All right.
I mean, what sounds does a school bus make, though? Like,
He's pretending he's driving. All aboard, kids. We're going to class. Hey, shut up back there, or I will. I don't know what can bus drivers do legally.
see, that's the thing is we don't know this.
Sit down. Sit in your seats, kids. Or this field trip is over.
I got yelled at by my bus driver once in school.
That doesn't surprise me. But teacher, but bus driver, I was sitting. And then they go back to the hallway. No, and then,
Yeah,
no,
this
you
is-
weren't. You were not sitting down. You were in
So-
so much trouble. I don't know what I'm doing right now. Please save me.
My school was like really strict on like cell phone usage. Like you couldn't even use it on the school bus.
How young are you?
I'm 23.
Yeah. See, when I was in school, we didn't really have cell phones, and
had
now I
them.
sound really old. I had a Nokia when I was in 10th grade. I remember having it in my No, I was in 9th grade. I had it. Yeah, first freshman. I had a phone, but it had no games on it, and it was just for like emergency use only.
Yeah, no, we had like Android phones by the time I was in sophomore year.
Best phone ever, by the way. The Sidekick.
Those were cool phones.
Those were like the best. Sidekick 2 was like the best phone I ever owned.
I was like, if you had that phone, you were like the cool kid in school.
Yeah. You're like walking out, and you're like,
Yeah.
you know, you can hit the top, and it like swooshes out, and you're like,
Yeah.
what's your number? Right? I never did that because I was the biggest
and
wuss
then
in high
and
school,
then
but-
then that became the iPhone like 3 years later, I think.
Yeah.
Well, once again, the next round getting started. So far, an absolutely flawless performance that we've had here for the Lemon Squad, and they are going to want to look to close out in that fashion as well. Only one more round separates them from that objective, and we're just going to have to see if they're going to be able to pull it off now as Bossfight, once again, look to successfully defend their uplink, but have already lost a player. It's probably going to get res, though. Scorpio moves in pretty quickly. Nice little morphine injection going there, and they're good to go.
To the foot, of course.
Why not?
I was watching this one guy play, and he likes to give himself morphine in the eye. he stabbed himself in the face with the needle to heal him back up.
I mean, while we are seeing the Lemon Squad make a very slow push past the school bus over here, keeping most players together in the process, but Scorpio's got eyes on it. It's not going to be so easy to get past this house with a red slide due to his position until they're able to take him down. I think he just chucked the nade as well. Maybe not.
I think you're seeing things.
It looked like his arm like threw something, so thought he was trying to chuck a nade out there.
Maybe he's throwing an ammo pack in there, trying to help Bossfight out because they can sure as hell use it. Down 0-3 on this map, one round away from Lemon Squad taking our third map of the series.
Ravnak gone prone. Wrapping around the White House. Baikonast, in the meantime, is going to go for the more direct approach, and Scorpio almost peeks him. In fact, Balkanos just tries to take the fight. Doesn't want to commit to it, though, so Scorpio will wrap back around the other side, and they actually just get a 1-for-1 trade. Still keeping Bossfight in very dominant control, as they've pretty much just outright dominated the other side of the map that we've been ignoring for a large part of this round. Bringing it all down to one man standing for Lemon Squad. Guika all alone here in a 1v4 now. Only 4 minutes left.
You know, I want to have all the faith in the world that he can do this, but realistically, 1v4 is going to be very difficult to pull off. Especially when Bossfight are the ones defending here. Speaking of defending, actually, does Bossfight even have anyone near the uplink? I can only see 2 people on the minimap at the moment. I'm assuming that, yeah, they have to have someone next to it.
They have someone watching it way down to the south.
Oh, right,
by the
right,
L
right.
house.
There we go.
Yeah, you can see someone has got eyes on it from long range.
Oh, Weather Balloon's gonna spot him out.
Oh, they both go down.
Nice shot. Hey, nice shot by Weather Balloon to take him with him. So there we go. Bossfight get on the board.
Gets the trade, puts us at a 3-1 scoreline now. Lemon Squad still, however, only one more point away from victory. Bossfight have got to keep themselves on their toes as they are not out of the hot seat just yet.
Yeah. Let's see. Bossfight. I mean, obviously they want to be able to pick up the series, right? Or they already have the series. They want to pick up this map as well to try to lengthen their lead and close up to beginners, who's currently rank 1 at the moment in Europe. Still also have a great match to come up next. It's going to be Danglers up against Global Chem. Global Chem, the pretty much best team we can say in the world, won the Onward Invitational this last month in June. And they did it in quite a surprising performance as well. I mean, they've placed first every season they played so far. Dating back to, well, season 2, I didn't even go to season 1 because I just assumed at that rate. But season 2, 3, 4, and now 5, they're in first place. And for a good reason.
We'll have to see if they're going to be able to keep their record relatively flawless tonight. It's another team from their own region here. Just once again, guys, players themselves is what we are waiting on. As soon as we get them all readied up, next round we'll continue. Just gives the teams a little bit of time to talk to each other in between the rounds and figure out what exactly might have gone wrong or right to reflect upon that before they jump into the next round.
Well, most importantly, to plan what to do in this round too. We already saw Bossfight close out that last map with a great little play they had actually like set up ahead of time. Can't go down the slide. I'm sorry. The round's about to start, and he's gonna go down the slide.
Do it.
Whee! Yeah, that's a really slow slide. You're like, I imagine his skin sticking to the slide the entire way down because of how slow he went.
I hope it's not a hot day.
And Bossfight abandoned the mission. Okay.
They're supposed to not start the game yet. I think they're doing commercials or something.
Not sure what that was.
I heard one of them say that they said they weren't supposed to start the round or something. So I don't know if there was a little bit of a communication issue.
Well, I know our spectators happy because now we can go on the monkey bars. What is that called in German? The monkey bars. Like, is it called like, is it directly translated to like monkey bars? I cannot read. Gewusst?
Monkey bars don't really make sounds.
No, it's not gewusst. Gehust? Gegust. Gelust. Gewusst. I can't roll my R's. I'm sorry. I'm terrible at German. I did learn what because is. So you can say Aufgrund, which is like a way you normally never would say it. You also say Weil. But it's like W-E-I-L. My German's getting there. 6 years and counting. And I can say I would like a Big Mac. Menu.
That's about as far as I can
Yeah,
get.
you know what's weird is that in America we call it meals. Like the Big Mac meal. But here they call it menu.
Yeah.
To me, that's like menu. It's
Or
like,
they call it combo sometimes as well.
yeah, yeah.
But that's like a US thing too. They call it combo in the US.
All right, so going into now the 5th round. Lemon Squad 3 rounds under the belt. Bossfight 1. Can you actually get close to them? I wonder what they're saying.
Form the line, guys. Form the line. Our final push is going to be up magic fence.
Scooby-Doo is just like laying down the law. He's like, form a line.
Arm the line.
Keeping his players intact here.
Lemon Squad's got a nice push going into the White House in the middle of the map as well, right in front of the uplink, so they're more than likely just going to hold here and wait for Bossfight to commit to their push over into the backyard.
Well, clear with what Bossfight were saying, it sounds like they have a plan of attack here. Scooby-Doo just shooting over the hedges. I think there was anybody even there he was shooting at.
There's just a pre-fire, I think, to try and see if he could catch anyone making a little bit of an aggressive push early on in the round. It'll be unsuccessful, though. Plenty of ammo on the players, so they can afford to kind of just throw out a clip or two. But look at Rafnek. Tries to make a big move there.
I think he traded with Scooby-Doo.
I think that Polis having a hard hold on the inside here, too. Looking for a target to try and breach inside of the house, but won't be seeing much of that right now. Bossfight have good control over what they have taken, but they are kind of stuck until they can fish someone out from Lemon Squad inside of the White House, which I think that's what Weather Balloon's going to try to do right now. If he can get over this hedging.
Can you get the nade in? Oh, he threw it in the top one. He missed anyways.
Oh, and he killed Scorpio accidentally, too. He's got the injection ready to go, but the problem is he's going to give away position. So now Polis is looking at that window, whereas previously he was like just stuck in this corner, and one of them could just walk right around, pop him in the head.
That was karma, by the way, because Scorpio did that on the first map. Actually, he knocked down a teammate. No, Weather Boon actually has been finished off here. Polo Spill. We expect a second player. Oh, it doesn't matter. He just got some down as well. Bossfight down to 2. It's 2 on 4 now. I hear them enjoying themselves. I didn't hear what they were saying, but I heard some laughing.
Limit Squad still with a very strong position. Just need to close out on these last 2 players from Bossfight, and they'll have the map under their control. Won't be getting the series, unfortunately. They've already gone too far for that one, but they can at least still try to gain a little bit of their point share back and try to deny some of it going in the direction of Bossfights.
Two players left, Mr. Death and Lego. Again, just playing this slow. And they have a lot of time to work with, so not in a hurry. Of course, they're down by 2 in terms of players. Looks like he's starting to finally make his move here.
Well, I'm glad I ditched that fucking 0-3 or whatever.
Well, he does actually get dropped. And now it's just on to the one player. Lego by himself, he gets 4. And, well, he's gonna be able to take at least one person down with, 1 person down for now, as he hasn't fallen just yet.
He's got a decent amount of time left at the very minimum, so we can definitely draw this out if he wants to and try to bring the timer down a little bit. But for Lego, everything does fall down to him with a little over 3 minutes remaining to try and pull off the clutch or uplink, or send the uplink code. So he's just gone back to route towards his spawn. As I'm just going to try to make a push either down the middle or continue this flank towards the west road instead.
So imagine this is going to be such a difficult feat to pull off. I mean, luckily for him, no one's looking in his direction necessarily. The 2 players towards the south house, though, occasionally turning like a sentry turret in this direction. But he's got cover to work with. That player right there, Polis, is going to be, I think, the real linchpin. This Polis Bill. All I do is just turn around. He can actually spot Lego out. Lego taking his time, moving slowly, goes for the shots, going for long range. He's giving away his position now, most importantly, and Polis Bill could easily go for him. He's actually stopping to pick up a couple of things. He's throwing out some smokes, trying to distract and provide another angle to attack from and keep the attention in that direction. Yeah, he's doing just that, actually. Throw out a nade and a smoke.
Pick up my grenades. No, I have grenades.
He has grenades!
Clearly, Lego doesn't get the message. He's going to continue moving forward anyway. A little under 2 minutes now, so he does have to start moving. You can see the uplink, but as soon as he sees it, he also sees his death as he's gone down. And Lemon Squad will pick up their 4th and final round to take control of the map and overall end the series 2-1. Still very much in the favor of Bossfight, but Lemon Squad will still get some points on the board.
Yeah, so, I mean, Lemon Squad, yeah, it was great that they were able to show up there at the end, but in the end, it's not going to really be enough, and in the end, it won't really matter. Good old Lincoln Park. So that does mean Bossfight will take the 2-1, and most importantly, guarantee themselves that 2nd place position now. They already had it before, technically, but now they will for sure have it, and unfortunately for Lemon Squad, they will lose on that match. We'll have to look forward towards next week, or maybe challenge someone else out in the meantime on the brackets, or on the league, the standings.
Definitely so to try to get some of those points back, but you guys will have a chance to keep up with that once again. And you can follow all the action over at the VRMasterLeague.com. That does take us to our next match, however, which will be Danglers versus Global Chem. That'll be coming up in a little bit here.
Yeah, we come up after the break, so let's just head to that for now. When we come back, it will be the best team we've seen so far winning the Onward Invitational back in June. It's going to be Global Chem, and we'll see if Danglers can do something about this and maybe put them to a stop. We'll see you guys in a few minutes.